I've been baptizing the chemicals, crawling through the catacombs of every sermon that you weaponize. Now every halo that you hold above my head is just a noose made of the words that you memorize. You say I'm broken, say I'm blind, but you can't prove a God with a state of mind. You want my worship, want me on my knees, but you can't sell faith with a casualty. If your God exists, then show me all your proof. Burn his name into the sky and show me it's the truth. I'm tired of secondhand miracles with zero evidence. If your God is really there, then make him manifest. I've been screaming at the ceiling till my lungs both cave. If he's really in the room, then he can say it to my face. No more echoes in the dark, no more prophets in my head. If your God exists, then prove he isn't dead. You decorate your trauma with God and call it meant to be, but trauma isn't holy just because you survive the scene. You tell me every tragedy is part of some celestial plan, so every suffering child that dies is a message from God's hand. You say I'm lost because I'm asking where the compass is. You call it mystery whenever you can't answer it. If I've answered wrong, you put the dead exist, and for me it's a dead. If your God exists, then show me all your proof. Burn his name into the sky and show me it's the truth. I'm tired of secondhand miracles with zero evidence. If your God is really there, make him manifest. I've been screaming at the ceiling till my lungs both cave. If he's really in the room, then he can say it to my face. No more echoes in the dark, no more prophets in my head. If your God exists, then prove he isn't dead. Dear God, if you're there, then why the secrecy? Why am I dissecting all?
Prove it, motherfuckers. What's up, guys? So, the more I'm studying philosophy, the more the God concept becomes boring and old. Like, genuinely. Like, there's no ontological truth, no epistemic justification. There's nothing. There's nothing. Every knee will bow. Sure, bud. So we came from nothing? No. No science says that. That's called a straw man fallacy. It's where you take a term of the Big Bang that you don't understand. You're ignorant. And then from your lack of understanding, you say it's from nothingness. Just because you're ignorant doesn't mean it's nothing. It's not my fault you're uneducated. Time to do a ghost debunk. Dude, I'm like this fucking close. 80% trolls. Yeah, literally. I also did like a super deep fucking dive into idealism because I was chatting with nobody about it, and then Socratic idealism, and I was like, dude, like even the phenomenology of qualia is explained in epistemic value. Like the Alex K guy getting angry. Consciousness is shaped from the brain. No, bud. Phenomenology feels is epistemically justified through natural mechanisms. Is this your job or hobby? A little bit of both, I guess you could say. I'm ready to take more screenshots for memes. Yeah, that was funny. That was funny. pretty proud of you for that one. What's up, Odin? Everyone will pledge allegiance. Sure, buddy. Sure. Gibberish generator. Yeah. What are you talking about? We can talk about it all. Are you a Christian? I like your earphones. Evil laugh. Yeah. Well, we got to get through all the trolls to get to the actual good conversations. You looked so stressed yesterday. Yeah, I got the wrong nicotine. I got 2 milligrams instead of 4. It's like I didn't have a craving for nicotine, but I was still in a bad fucking mood. Don't worry. I got the 4s. Yeah, poor Evan. Oh, God. It's so hard because I do want to allow him to have his arguments, but at the same time, he just gets pulled so fucking deep into rabbit holes. Yeah, he's got a lot of love and faith in people. I know I was out of pocket, Bun. When have I ever said I'm not out of pocket? I'm never going to stop, Bun. Like, I am who I am. Who are we talking about? Co-host Evan, or the Welsh Dragon. Beautiful man. Very smart kid. Evan is a non-confrontational. Yeah. More than usual? Yeah, I know. Still not going to stop. Sometimes it'll happen. Most of the time it won't. The question becomes, is imagination real? No. The experience can feel real. Doesn't mean the mechanism is that of whatever you think it is. Like if you tell me that your imagination is from some supernatural void, no. The mechanism is the cause of from the brain. Does truth exist? Yeah. Can't wait for nothing to happen after death. Dude, I would love for reincarnation to be real. Personally. Sounds like Jackson needs to request up. What's up, Express? Yeah, I don't know how I feel about multiverse. It's plausible. Physics and mathematics work out, but there's no demonstration for it. There's no epistemic justification. Sometimes I want hell to be real, just so those jackasses can enjoy the hell they made. That's fair. Tangible? I know, right? I just don't respond to stupid questions. I'm only going to be talking about my kitten for at least 2 weeks. Hell yeah. You got a new kitten? What kind of cat? What'd you get? Who is the Greek goddess? I don't have a... Huh? Sometimes I just want to be a wolf spider in a cranberry bog. According to fifth dimension and higher understanding, God must be real. Well, according to reality, there's 4 dimensions. Height, length, width, and time. So, prove the fifth. Plausibility of theoretical sciences does not equate to demonstrable proof that they are actually real. What's up, Yowie? You should argue with Philbros today. Yeah. My only problem with the Philbros is they're literally trolling. I haven't had a single, like, even when we call them out and they're like, yeah, man, I'm just fucking with you. I'm still like, all right, do you want to have an actual conversation? And they still don't. Like, It's literally just a troll. I would love to have like just a straight up philosophy talk, but they don't want to, is the frustration. How can 3-dimensional beings explain the 5th dimension or higher? Good question. You're the one with the claim. You're the one that needs to prove it. Burden of proof is a bitch for mystical imagination, isn't it? I will never come back up and say moderator stuff. You make fun of my sweet southern accent. You know, I was just thinking the other day. You know what I'm saying? We were eating dinner. And the concept of gal got brought up. And during this conversation, bro still has PTSD from KB. Yeah, sure. What is your opinion on nonconformity? What do you mean? Nonconforming to what? Watched Justin the other day. He talked about SA in the Bible and it was bonkers. Oh, yeah, it's all over. Oh, yeah, man. Beans and cornbread. How could you? He loves you. Prove it by imagination. Imagination is useful, though. Yeah, I agree. Helped me get a 6-pack of muscles, which are real. I was influenced. I do agree that there's like goodness to thoughts. Let's get MOH. Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, you over the age of 18?
Yeah,
All right. Which God do you believe in, brother?
Christian.
Okay, cool. What do you got for me? Why do you believe? And do you have any evidence for it?
Yeah, I do actually.
Sure.
Do you mind if I just grab my notes? I wrote
Yeah, go
a
for it,
lot
brother.
of stuff there.
Yeah.
1 second.
Are you planning on going down a philosophical route?
No. There ain't no going in this water.
Got some pipes on you.
Forever. And all there is going. 69.
Ha! Ha!
68.
69! Sorry.
67. Here we go. Okay. Refutes for atheists. Okay.
Refutes?
Start. Yeah, start.
You're an A-leprechaunist. How do you refute? Never mind, continue.
Okay, so number 1, ask these 3 questions to test if they are actually an atheist. Okay, number 1. Hello? Are you okay? Are you okay? Okay,
You're fucking with us.
No, this is how I'm gonna win this debate.
You're 100% a troll. Define atheist.
Somebody who doesn't believe in a god.
Yeah, does it inherently define as a disbelief?
Sorry?
Does it necessarily define as disbelief?
Well, not really. I mean, you
Okay.
could say that
if you lack or disbelieve something, is it your job to prove that it does not exist?
Wait, let me just find the answer.
Oh, it's nice talking, bro. Epicurean, let's get you in here, man. That was 100% a troll.
My man, what's up?
Hey, brother, you had some very interesting questions in chat. What you got for me, bro? Which God do you believe in?
I don't really believe in the gods that we commonly think of, like Jesus or Allah or Abrahamic or even like whatever Buddha the hell follows.
Yeah, just like philosophical agnostic.
Yeah, I'm agnostic. That's how I define myself, but I do believe in like some kind of thing. God is an it to me.
Sure. Okay, what you got for me then?
Yeah. So imagination, right? That's kind of where I'm going with this. Now, I'm a big proponent of imagination. I haven't looked into any philosophical texts about it, so I can't quote anything or research to it. It's just actually a recent thing I've come across. I've always been an agnostic atheist, right? Traditionally. And after being on TikTok lives and talking to tons of people, I think imagination is truly the closest we have to, I wouldn't call it divinity, but to something of a higher like power than us.
Yes, I do agree that imagining Santa Claus makes Santa Claus real in your imagination,
Yes, that's a statement I'd agree
but it
with.
does not make it real in reality.
So I do think there are transferable aspects to reality from imagination. Would you disagree with that?
So the mechanism is not going to be the imagination making and causing effects in reality. The mechanism is going to be you believing something and making your own actions to cause effect in reality. So the mechanism is not imagination, the mechanism is you.
But
So
what am
yeah,
I?
what are you? A human being? What else would you be?
So what I mean is like what is the difference of like a human that imagines and like a human that doesn't, like I didn't actually say that right, but but do you get what I'm saying?
No.
Okay. So I think you've actually kind of, so like yeah, you're saying like we, the human, is the mechanism, right?
Right, yeah. Your thoughts are powerful because you act on your thoughts, not because they interact with the world.
But aren't thoughts dependent on the world? Like we only get imagination from from the observations we've collected from the real world.
Really? When did you observe a leprechaun?
A leprechaun. I mean, like I've seen it on TV, right? Which was
Right,
part
which
of the
is
real world.
imagination made up, drawn, and then put on a TV. So, no, you have
Right.
never observed a leprechaun really in the world. You have observed imagination, drawings, skits, etc. Again, the
Yes.
mechanism being the human bringing their thoughts into reality by drawing, by pretending, etc. The leprechaun is not real.
Right. Agreed. But what I'm saying is that the thoughts, right? That like the process around the thoughts converting things that we see into something that may or may not be
Right. It's
real.
not the thoughts
Takes
doing it though. It's the mechanism is your hands. Without your hands, that pen is fucking useless.
right. Or exactly. But what I'm basically saying is that like if God is real, he is limited to the imagination. That's kind of like the conclusion I'm making.
Yeah.
Right. And but what I think the other angle I take with that, right, is because I think a lot of atheists that I've talked to personally kind of gets a little too realistic and says imagination can have a loony kind of tone. But what
Absolutely.
I what I argue is that imagination's useful as long as it doesn't hurt someone else. Does that make sense?
If you believe everything you see, you belong in a loony bin because you become dangerous. Let's say you have an auditory hallucination that tells you to go kill somebody and you believe that it is God. Well, therefore, you are now fucking dangerous to society. So I do agree with those atheists that the imagination can lead to danger to society and yourself.
So I agree with that, but I think it's a double-edged sword, right? Because someone who doesn't have a lot of motivation can now leverage imagination to doing something that improves their lives, like let's say going to
Right.
the
That's why
gym.
we use epistemic justification for what is true. So when I'm drawing Spider Man, I know he's not real, but the phenomenology behind why I'm drawing him is going to be it is fun. I feel good. My brain is releasing dopamine, which is the feel good chemical. I feel good by drawing and using my imagination. but I don't believe it's real because there's no epistemic justification for its actuality.
Correct.
But
I
people
would
that
agree with that.
believe in their imagination believe they are hearing these voices, and the voices are really from some magical divine realm, and then they act upon it as if it is true. They lack epistemic justification and believe everything, and they are a danger to society.
Correct. I couldn't agree more with that statement. But again, I think the angle I was taking too.
That's
right, and
empiricism, by the way.
yeah, I would consider myself a bit of an empiricist. However, where I wanted to actually start getting your thoughts on is I'm sure you saw I mentioned the fifth dimension, right? I just recently learned about how dimensions work. Um, I think the fourth dimension is the
Time.
most we can comprehend. Yeah, but then it doesn't exclude though that there could be a fifth dimension. There kind
Right.
of has to be a fifth
There's
dimension.
plausibility, like the mathematics and physics work, which means that they're coherent and logically valid, but there's no demonstration or epistemic value to justify that there actually is truth to the concepts. So you have concepts, and then you have to use epistemology to justify whether they actually are or not.
So it's not that there's no epistemic evidence for it. It's just that we can't. I mean, would you agree with that statement?
Well, yeah, I also can't prove unicorns. It doesn't mean they're real. Just because you can't prove something and can't prove that it's not real does not mean it is therefore real.
Right, so
That's
I
fallacious.
Right, I understand the burden of proof, right? I get that.
Right, so there's no evidence to justify a belief in fifth dimension.
But what I'm saying is that it also doesn't hurt, right? If you were to explain the fifth dimension, how would you go about doing that?
No clue.
So,
That doesn't mean it's real.
right, but it doesn't mean it's fake, right? And so
You're right. So you withhold judgment until the burden of proof is met.
right. Okay, I could agree with
So
that.
how science works is you keep trying to prove things wrong.
Right, but and I base a lot of my life off of science, right? But the only issue I have with science is that it won't be able to answer some of the more juicy things in our lifetime, and so sometimes we kind of do need to fill the gaps with
No.
our imagination, right?
No,
Why wouldn't you? I would ask.
because you're wrong.
But I'm also not. Well, you can't prove that it's wrong, but I can't prove that it's right.
So check this out. Here is a logically sound argument, but the argument is not why it is correct. All people that have a phone have brown hair. I have a phone. I therefore have brown hair. It coincidentally is true. The argument is fallacious. So just
Okay.
because it is possible for something to be true and later in the future ends up being true still does not provide justification to believe it until it is proven. It is still fallacious. It is still untrue until the burden of proof is met. We're not saying it's false. We're saying it's untrue.
Agreed. I would totally.
I mean, it's that simple. Like, you're reading way too into it.
That is true, but I think like again, I'm still at the starting point of this new theory that I want to look into, and honestly, that is how science starts, right? You start with an idea and you find a way to test it. I don't know how I'm supposed to test the fifth dimension, but basically, I have a hypothesis, right? And
Well,
I'm
you
curious.
can't test what doesn't exist.
We can't test what doesn't exist to us, right? I don't think it means
You have no justification to believe that it does exist. It's untestable, it's undemonstrable, and it's unfalsifiable. Is it possible and plausible? Yes. That doesn't mean it's real.
Right.
Could it be
Agreed.
real? Yes, but there's no reason to believe it is until that burden of proof is met. Is that going to take 1,000,000 years? Sure, maybe. It doesn't mean it's real. And even if it is real, you have no justification to say it is until it's proven.
Right, and that's why I'm just running the idea by you, right? Because you definitely know more about me in regards to like philosophy, what's the current like paradigms that exist around our human understanding. I'm an accountant, right? I don't study this stuff, so I try to learn from people who have spent more time in this. And so the idea that I really wanted to bounce by you, even though it's not real, right? Because I agree with you. There's no way we can test it, and we'll never do that in our lifetimes. There's a chance we can develop sensory organs through evolution that might evolve first to a fourth dimensional being and then potentially fifth. But again,
We are
we're
fourth dimensional beings. We
Oh,
exist height, length, width, and in time.
oh yeah. So then, cool. You're right. Actually, we are just another step closer to the fifth dimension. And um, the way I understand the fifth dimension is it's basically um, different possibilities, right? Starting to get into the multiverse theory, where okay, we have like the time dimension accounted for, right? Now the next step of the equation is there are different combinations of time occurring, right?
Mhm.
And so that's why there are unlimited possibilities, right?
Yeah, possible doesn't mean true.
Correct.
That's where me and you are going to differ. So you're wanting the imagination to be true. I don't care.
Right. And I agree with that, right? And I'll give you an example, right? Like one of the things that helped me in the gym is visualization, right? Like I imagine I'm as strong as a polar bear, but in reality, I'm never fighting one of those things, right? So again, I agree with your distinction, right? But what I'm saying is that visualization has offered some kind of benefit to me, right? Like I'm pushing my body far more than if
Right.
I
What's the
didn't
mechanism?
visualize me, right?
Right. What causes the extra strength?
The visualization, the
Fight or
tensing of the
flight,
muscles.
tensing of muscles.
Mhm.
Right. There's nothing about the imagination that is the actual cause of it. It is all in the brain, chemical reactions, etc.
True, but
It is physical.
why is it that the brain imagines though?
That's a damn good question. I'd highly recommend going to study psychology.
Got it. So I guess that's the next
It's in the
step I was
brain
kind of
though.
looking. Yeah, exactly, but I'm like I want to like learn more about imagination because I agree that right now I feel like we're in the wild wild west when it comes to this. Like why do we dream, for example, right? Why does
There's an
imagination
answer.
does there is?
Yeah. It's the brain, bro.
So, I know like it's what cleaning out like the whatever like reservoirs or like fluids in
Right.
the
It's
brain needs to be
processing.
true. But I guess what I'm saying is that how does a dream feel so real in that
Again, the
capacity?
brain answers that. Chemical reactions. The feelings are caused by chemicals, period. There's no phenomena that's like, oh my God. There's no amazingness to it. It's natural.
So how like were the chemicals like so autonomous in the way they were evolved to interact the way they do?
Through billions of years of evolution. This is
And like
biology. You're very confused and curious about biology and psychology. I just go study that. But just because you can imagine something doesn't make it real, first of all. So there's no point in arguing that at all.
okay, agreed. I should choose my words a little more carefully. Real is not the right word I'm using here. Um, but okay, going back to like the billions of years, right? Um, like what were the
Brother, I
processes?
am not a psychologist. I don't know why we dream, but the answer is out there. People study brains for a living. Neurologists, psychologists, they can explain this. Books are free.
Gotcha, gotcha. Cool. Thanks, man. I'll definitely go into the psychological route next. Appreciate your time, and
Right. Just remember to have justification for all your beliefs.
yeah. Although, but there's some beliefs I can't have justification, like the fifth
Then don't
dimension.
believe it.
But it's useful, right? If something's
No, it's
useful,
not.
but why would you say it isn't?
Is it useful for me to believe in leprechauns and Santa Claus? No. Could there be some phenomenological personal experience that could make my life more fun? Sure. If you want to consider that as it is helpful, sure, but it doesn't make it real.
But
You're crossing the
that is
boundary of imagination and real.
yeah. So I'm saying that imagination does have benefits to make life more fun. That's how I define a benefit, right? To me,
Right, but it
um,
doesn't make it real and it's not an actual benefit. It's just a personal thing that you want for fun. The actual benefit you could get from other things that are real. You could go for a jog and release endorphins that way. Like
right.
just because there are effects caused by the brain does not make the imagination purposeful.
See, I would actually disagree with that. To go for a jog, what would be the point? if imagination helps a person get off the couch and go for a run, I think there's some benefit to the imagination. As long as it's not a voice telling
Right,
you to
but
go
that
for
is
a
a
run.
natural mechanism. You're trying to like teeter-totter on imagination and realist stuff. You're trying to like blend the line of imagination and real.
I think
You
that's how
just can't.
science starts, though, right?
It
It
starts with
starts with an idea.
philosophical concepts of what if this is true? Can this be real? And then you test it, demonstrate it, see if it's logical and coherent, etc. Then you see if it actually follows the laws of nature, if physics can explain it, etc. If it can't, we move on until we can. But you're trying to beat a dead horse right now. The answers you're looking for are in psychology, answered
Gotcha.
already on paper with explanations and mechanisms.
Gotcha. I'll look into that. But yeah, man, thanks for having me up.
All right, man, you have a good one. Okay. Caller is desperately trying to hold on to substance and dualism and doesn't understand. Yeah. That's what I was trying to get across to him. Yeah. He's very much trying to hold on to certain beliefs. Caller sounds like he has literally beat a dead horse before. I wouldn't say that. He's a nice guy. What is substance and dualism? Yeah, go look up dualism and idealism. You're very much teeter-tottering on those two philosophies. Visualization activates dopamine pathways. Yes, that is true. Aha! Yeah, there's nothing wrong with imagination and visualization, but to believe the visualization is real, that's what you're trying to teeter-totter on, and it's just not true. Is there, like, if... Okay, so I practice witchcraft because of the phenomenological value that it has for me. It gives me purpose and reason, but I know it's not real. The imagination of doing a ritual, the ritual is not the cause for me to feel better or to get something. The reason I'm doing it is it's my own personal way of quote unquote unlocking parts of the brain to release dopamine. Like the mechanism is not magic. The imagination is not the mechanism and cause for X, Y, and Z. Actually, I'd go as far as to say there's no inherent purpose in the universe. I do agree with that wholeheartedly. There is no purpose or meaning to life. You have to make it. Sorry, I should clarify. The implication he is trying to draw from a dimension outside sounds like the attempt to keep metaphysics or an undetectable substance. Yes, absolutely. I agree. 100% I agree. Yeah. Which I understand that because I do the same thing with magic and the supernatural. Like last night, I was up till 3 a.m. studying the ontology of magic, for instance, and I came to very strong and in-depth idealistic frameworks. So let me read something. Okay, so you can make up your own frameworks for your worldview to make sense, for it to be coherent, etc. Like you can believe in magic, for instance, but you have to first of all use different axioms, of which, if they're true axioms, are not going to make magic real all of a sudden. You would literally have to use false axioms that are unproven. So you run into a brick wall when you try to make these things real. You just can't. And then that question of what if we could one day? What if it's real and we just don't know yet? There you go. You have your answer. What if it's real and we just don't know yet? Cool. There's no justification to believe it's real yet. You just answered it yourself. It's kind of depressing. Absolutely. That's why you make your own purpose. All right, let's get in Rajadi. Let's get Raj. What's up, Raj?
You got my name right.
I'm sorry?
you got my name right. Most people be like Rogue Diggity and bullshit like that.
That's
You actually
ridiculous.
said it.
Yeah, of course.
Thank
You over the age of 18, brother?
It's not my own name. What was that?
You over the age of 18?
Oh yes, yes
All
sir.
right. Which God do you believe in, brother?
I believe in the Christian God, brother.
Cool. All right. What you got for me? What should I?
I guess I would like to talk about it from bear theism at first, if I could.
From bare theism, as in like BARE?
Oh, yeah, like if you understand what I'm saying, because I believe that there's a necessity for God,
Got you.
regardless of
Got
what
you.
you believe.
So you're going down an ontological route. So yeah, sure. Provide me the demonstration of that. Yeah.
Well, okay, I guess I'll start by saying this. I believe the world itself is strong evidence for for theism or a God. And one of the reasons why I say it, I guess it comes from observation initially. So basically, my understanding is, and it makes sense to me. In the worlds, you have energy and matter. If I understand correctly, they can change states and whatnot. You know, iron might be able to, fuse or something and become a different um, material, or maybe be able to get really hot and become energy and whatnot. But apparently, there's only so much in the universe of these, energy and matter, and they cannot be created. As far as I can understand, cannot be destroyed. That makes sense to me because I know of no mechanism by
So
which
pause. Take
Yeah.
that thought into consideration. Energy cannot be created, but energy exists. So why would you believe that it was created in the first place?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. Okay, because I guess it hinges on two things. So, okay, a lot of times people, and I think the people who say this are at least being honest to a point. Some people say that the universe is eternal because, as far as I'm concerned, there's two things. You need two things for the universe to exist, as far as I'm concerned. Something has to be eternal, number one, and you have to break one of the laws, a law of physics or known observation.
So the first thought there is you don't need to have something eternal. It could be infinite regress. Now, when it comes to stating as an objective truth that the universe is eternal, I don't agree with that, but it is logically sound for me to say energy cannot be created, energy exists, therefore it has always existed. That's a logically sound argument. So it is logical to believe that energy has always existed. Now, you could consider that God, sure, but it's not the definition of God. It's energy. The second thought, what did you say? Fuck. Physics break down at the hot end state. So we cannot make conclusive statements about that right now.
Well, from observation, what I'm saying is from observation, you come to the logical conclusion that energy cannot be destroyed or created within the universe itself by any mechanism that we know.
Right.
And to me, if that's true, then it's maybe a little bit complicated to explain. But another thing, as I believe something has to be eternal, because if that's true,
that's a
and there
presupposition.
is this is that's however you want to put it, and maybe you're correct. But just from my perspective, just pardon me if that's fine to correct me. I'm just trying to get it out there and say it. Damn it. So to me, that means that something has to be eternal at this point. So either matter and energy have to be eternal since they cannot be created or destroyed, or something has to be eternal outside of the universe that created them to begin with. That one of those has
Sure.
to be true,
So,
as far as I'm concerned.
First thought first,
So,
you can't have causal relation without space-time. So something existing outside of time and then having causal relation with time just isn't possible. So that disrupts that concept. Second of all, we have evidence and justification to believe energy cannot be created and energy does exist. So we have demonstrable evidence that energy could be eternal, yet you're trying to make up an explanation for an unknown thing to have possibility of existing.
well, here's the problem, because of what I said earlier. You have to you have to break one of the laws of physics.
No.
Or you have to have an unknown.
That's a false
Look,
dichotomy.
Okay, here's why I'm saying this. I believe it's true. Here's why I'm saying this.
No, it's a false dichotomy.
No.
Let me rephrase this sterner since you're not listening. It is a false dichotomy to say, A, it has to be eternal, or B, there has to be a creator. False, motherfucker. There could also be other explanations, like, for instance, a deeper mechanic in physics that we have not learned about yet. It does not have to be eternal or have to be something outside of it to make it. That's a false dichotomy.
Well, let me go to the next point because I didn't quite get to it. Okay, so now we have another observable thing in the universe, which is why I'm going this route.
Jesus, dude, you're not listening. Pay attention.
No.
False dichotomy. Drop that argument. It's over.
Okay, so now we have entropy, right?
Yeah, which,
This is
what about that is made by God?
No, what I'm saying is, if matter is okay from the naturalist perspective, if matter cannot be created or destroyed.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed. Matter is an emergent property from energy.
Oh yes, of course. That's fine. So if it cannot be destroyed, then I feel that's a necessity for an eternal universe from that perspective, correct?
Sure. I mean, it's logically valid.
Okay, but here's the problem. When observable with entropy, things keep.
It goes to a starting point, right? Which is the expansion.
They have a starting point with lots of usable energy to do work, right?
Which
But
is
as
the
it progresses,
expansion. This is the Big Bang Theory. You're talking about the Big Bang Theory, dude.
Okay, so you got less and less usable energy to do work until you get to a certain point where there is no energy to do work. And this is where the problem comes in. If the universe is eternal, then we've already
I'm
had
not
an
saying it
eternal-
is eternal.
No, but I'm saying if the universe is eternal, then we've already had an eternal past. We've
No,
already
false.
reached heat death.
The expansion of the universe is also the expansion of space-time itself. Without time, there is no past.
But you understand what I'm saying?
I understand you're trying to argue for a false dichotomy still, even after I explain how it's a false dichotomy.
So are you saying that the universe isn't eternal?
I'm saying there's more than just two options, brother.
But from what we've observed, entropy keeps increasing. And as sooner or later, even according to science, I didn't make this stuff, there will be a heat death.
Possibly.
So,
Plausibly. Not demonstrably true.
not demonstrably true. So when all this, but the problem is, like, when you think about it, like, from a logical perspective, when all the stars burn out, all the gas and everything, when it's all the fusions have happened and stuff, and it's gone cold, the stars will not burn forever. They're not going to burn forever.
So what?
They're going to burn out one day. All the stars will burn out. Even the new ones that get created through physics, sooner or later they will all burn out, and we will have no more energy to have life on Earth or anything like that. And we will experience a heat death. I mean, I don't see any
Cool.
way past it from looking what we observe from the universe. This seems like it's going to happen. At
Cool.
this point, you have to bring in an unobservable event or something that's going to happen.
Dude, these
Like,
are all
you have to say, well,
theoreticals.
maybe it's not reverse and stuff. You're gonna have to
This
say,
is all
maybe it's not reverse.
theoreticals, non-demonstrable, unproven, unprovable currently. So what? Doesn't prove a God, doesn't prove a higher power. It has nothing to do with what is currently going on.
Oh, then how? Well, how would you explain? Because people have understood this.
Some
like,
things
when
are
I
not
say-
explainable. The true answer to the hot dense state is I don't know.
I guess it's the last thing I can say. Only from my perspective, from what I've read and I understand. I don't understand, because then we're going to totally into the unknown. And what I've already said, my position on this, and it's still the same. I know you don't agree with this false dichotomy, but when I look at entropy,
Yeah, I
and
don't
look
agree with logical fallacies. You're correct. You're being illogical. By literal definition, you're being illogical.
Illogical, huh?
Yeah, that's a
But
logical
when-
fallacy. False dichotomy is a logical fallacy.
I didn't make up this heat dust stuff when I read about it.
Okay, then the
People believe it.
physicist that made it up is being illogical. I don't care who made it. Einstein could have made it. It's illogical. We don't appeal to authority, we appeal to evidence.
Well, what is it? What is your model that would, besides the idea?
Dude, I don't know. But there's no justification to believe that a god did it.
That's not what I'm saying, though, because
That's the whole entire discussion is about God. If you want to get super into the weeds on physics, go talk to Dr. Blitz. But I'm not him.
Why do people always tell me talk to Dr. Blitz?
Because you're red herring into physics that have nothing to do with God. And you want me to continue a conversation about physics and science when I'm trying to talk about God. Not only have you brought up logical fallacies that you're incapable of comprehending are fallacious and false, but you also are going super in depth out of your and my fields of studies to where we are both ignorant and arguing from ignorance. So we tell you to go talk to somebody that knows what the fuck they're talking about, i.e. Dr. Blitz, who has a fucking doctorate.
All right, well then, if we don't talk, you don't seem to give me an answer. You say that. It's
Yeah,
wrong.
no shit. I don't know. That's the fucking answer, dude.
Well, then
The answer is I don't know.
Okay, so why don't we go from the idea of
Holy shit.
abiogenesis? Since we don't know about this, can we talk about abiogenesis?
Abiogenesis is a wonderful theory with a bit of evidence justifying it possibly being true and plausibly being true, but it is not a theory yet. It is not a proven scientific theory, so no, I'm not going to talk about that either. I'm ignorant on that. Are you? Are you a physicist?
A physicist?
Are you a biologist? Have you studied biology?
No, but I'm
Okay,
not
so we are both arguing out of our scope of knowledge.
Well, neither of us are preachers either, so we're still out of our. To even talk about God, I guess we're out of our field there.
Oh my god, dude, that's not how that works.
That's not how that works, huh? But you just said out of the field. You just used that. It's out of our field. And
Tell me the leading study that has provided any evidence that we should look into abiogenesis. There's one specific study, one specific name. If you don't even know that, then there's no fucking point in talking to you about it. There's one experiment, one very famous experiment.
are you talking about the one where they do with the? I don't know what it's called. But you talking about?
So you're ignorant. So there's no purpose in talking about it if neither of us knows about it. We would be arguing from ignorance.
That's fine. Are you talking about the amino acids experiment with the electric shock and whatnot? Is that? What
There's a
you're talking
lot
about?
more than just that goes into it. You don't even know what it's called, which tells me you've never studied it, which tells me you have no fucking clue what you're talking about. I have read it, and I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Did they create like 20 amino acids through electric shock and whatnot?
I don't know.
I thought you said you read it though.
What was the sentence after that, dude? I have read it, and I don't even know it. I am ignorant. You are ignorant. I'm not going to argue from ignorance.
Well, then what areas do you know about this stuff that we could?
Jesus fucking Christ. Caller heard the phrase blind leading the blind and thought it was a command. Yeah, that was that was a lot of just horse shit. Hey, what's up, Alan? That was rough. Doing all right, brother. Doing all right. Kurt, what's up, Kurt? Hopefully, like, I'm all good going into the philosophical depths, but leading into places where there is no argument to be had because there's no evidence, there's no concluded philosophy, like there's nothing, that's just a waste of time. Do that on your own time. Journal at night. Write your own philosophical work. All right, let's get you in here, Various. I know you want to talk about that. Go for it, brother. You have the floor.
Yeah, it was driving me crazy. So one of his main talking points was that energy is conserved, but that's not actually true in general relativity. Um, it's true at like classical scales,
Right.
on the Earth and this and that, but at cosmological scales,
Right. It's not
uh,
global truth.
yeah, it's not energy isn't conserved at cosmological scales. You can still have local energy conservation in GR, where if you draw some sort of boundary within space time, then the energy in there is the energy that was in there plus the energy flowing in or out. But the total energy of the system isn't even a well-defined property in general
Right.
relativity. If I calculate it here and someone on Pluto calculates it, we get different values and it changes over time. So I don't even have a Twitter, so I'm definitely not on there. Uh, Also, Rajadi Dodgety, I'm getting there. We don't know if heat death is going to happen or not.
And I tried to explain that to him. It's a plausible
Yeah.
hypothesis. It's not an absolute
Right.
demonstrably true.
Right. Right now, it appears that the total energy of the system is increasing due to the acceleration of the expansion of the universe. However, it's possible that that eventually is going to reverse and the universe will collapse in on itself and do a sort of big bounce or a big crunch or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be the opposite of a heat death. It would actually become
Which
increase
crunch
the
is the
intensity
leading
of
model at this moment in time because of the slowing of the expansion.
well, the expansion is actually still accelerating, but
The acceleration is slowing.
yeah,
Yeah.
the acceleration is decreasing. Um, it's very contentious. We really don't have any confidence for any of the models in particular. They're
I'm
all
hoping it
plausible at
continues
this
to
moment.
accelerate, but because I don't like the idea of the crunch model. I like bubble theory, but my feelings don't dictate facts, so
Bubble, is that the one where you get new big bangs?
yeah, yep, yeah.
Okay, okay. There's also one that's really interesting called the CCC model, which has like a dynamic rescaling that changes the meaning of lengths to where
Huh.
at some point when the universe has become very low density, it dynamically rescales to where that low density now means it's actually high density and it expands again.
Oh, interesting. Okay, gotcha. So an infinite expansion. That's cool.
Yeah, it just keeps expanding. The CCC model keeps expanding forever.
Interesting.
Um, but then he moved on to the second law of thermodynamics, which he was not very
Very not knowledgeable on.
so the second law of thermodynamics is again a classical only law. It doesn't take into account quantum mechanics, special or general relativity.
Right.
In order to derive the second law of thermodynamics, because it is a law that was derived mathematically. It's
Right.
not a observation and then decided.
We
There
did
is
have observation of two black holes colliding the other day, making the bell sound of Einstein's general.
yeah.
That was pretty
Gravitational
cool.
waves.
Wait, what? We saw two
But-
black holes.
Well,
or
not
we
saw, but yeah, the two black holes collided and became one, and there was a chime or a bell in accordance with what Einstein said it would be if that were to happen, in accordance with general relativity, which was a conclusion to truth about it. Obviously, there's still holes in relativity, but that was pretty cool.
I wouldn't say holes, but definitely parts of it that are incomplete.
Right.
Um, but the second law of thermo, where was I going with that?
Sorry.
So the second law of thermodynamics, it's not an observation we made and then wrote down. It's actually a law that was derived from other principles. But in order to make this derivation, you have to assume that there's no quantum correlations in your system and that you're in a flat space-time.
Oh.
Recently, a
Oh.
team proposed a set of equations and derivations that they believe is a derivation of the second law of thermodynamics with the quantum correlations accounted in, and so the law
Okay.
becomes modified. But we do have another law that has general relativity for curved space-times.
Yeah.
I don't know if an expanding space-time is worked into it yet or not. But these are two different ones. We don't have like and the quantum one, that's still a proposed one. If that turns out to be correct, then cool, we have a quantum one, but we still wouldn't have a proposed one that combines GR and quantum mechanics into the second law of thermodynamics.
That's cool. Is there a name for it?
I don't remember, but if you
Okay.
Google second law of thermodynamics beat Carnot limit quantum mechanics, I imagine you'd be able to find the paper. Because that was one of the main conclusions of the paper, is that after taking into account these quantum correlations, theoretically you should be able to beat the Carnot limit on engine efficiency. There's still restrictions on it, but they become less restrictive than the typical Carnot limit.
Found it. Yeah, two physicists at the University of Stuttgart.
On top, so combining all of that, also the second law of thermodynamics only applies in a closed system where the total energy is conserved. So second law of thermodynamics requires that you are classical, there's no quantum mechanics and no general relativity, and energy is conserved, and yet that's not true of the universe. The universe has quantum mechanics. The universe has general relativity. We actually see that energy isn't conserved. So we can't naively apply the second law of thermodynamics to the universe at the cosmological scale.
Cosmologically, no, but locally, yeah.
That's the thing about laws within physics. They always come with
It's so
some
annoying.
sort of
Caveat.
constraint.
He brought up abiogenesis, which if I wasn't in the shower earlier,
Oh God.
missing me.
First of all, I missed you. Second of all, I'm sorry for how rough I was yesterday. I got the wrong nicotine. I'm gonna blame that wholeheartedly and not take any accountability, but I do apologize.
Nah, it's all right. I am too soft on them, but it's also because I want to be a teacher.
You are too soft, and you do want to teach them. But I should have let you rabbit hole at least a little bit. I just had no fucking patience.
Yeah. He did kind of in DMs. We hadn't talked much in DMs. He sent me the link, and I was like, "Yeah, no, this is literally just a extremely biased Christian website." And I tried to find any scientific study on it, and I found none because the Catholic Church refuses to let anyone touch it.
See, that's why I would be a Catholic if I were to pick a religion. They're true because they make themselves fucking true. All right, I'm gonna grab some coffee. Various, I appreciate you hopping up. I do have some more theists that are requesting up, so we're gonna move on. But I definitely appreciate you.
Various, are you a physicist, or you just know a lot about physics?
Yeah, I'm almost done with my master's. I have a few publications. I did an internship at.
Oh, you got some publications already? Nice, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, just got another one just 2 days ago.
That's fucking awesome. Congratulations.
My team has one more paper that we're maybe a few weeks to a month away from being able to publish, and then I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 papers that I'm writing. So,
damn.
Yeah, I stumbled into some low-hanging fruit. Three times I stumbled into some low-hanging fruit, and then one of them I was pursuing, and it was just like, oh yeah, this will be a nice short publication, 4 or 5 pages, and then I was like, what if I just threw velocity dependence into this equation and see what happens for fun? And then I started playing around with the equations, and I was like, oh shit, this
Yeah,
is an
so I don't.
entirely new system of mechanics altogether.
Damn.
We don't know how any of that works. So
Wow.
It connects a bunch of concepts from classical mechanics into general relativity and quantum mechanics. So if people learn this system of mechanics, I think it's going to make the transition into GR and quantum mechanics easier for people in the future.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm
All right,
so-
Einstein. I look
down
forward to
for
seeing your work.
being able to learn.
I got so
quantum
fucking
mechanics
lucky.
much
Pure
easier.
luck. Pure dumb luck.
Money for the unicorn.
But I still need to finish it before I can try to publish it, because the like root equations are worked out, but there's still a bunch of proofs I need to do. I still need to mathematically prove that it's identical to like well-known mechanics, that it will come up with the same solutions.
Yeah.
I've thrown a dozen or so particular problems at it. I like a pendulum, parabolic motion, charge in a magnetic field. I've thrown a bunch of particular problems at it, and it gets the same answer as other systems of mechanics, but with more interpretability and those mathematical concepts that connect to GR and quantum. But I need to come up with a general proof that it will always produce the same solution instead of just these particular examples.
Nice. I'm not a physicist. I'm a biology student. So
All
I only
right.
know about that.
Well, let's go on ahead and move on to the next theist.
But yeah. Thanks for coming up, Various.
Yeah, I appreciate the hell out of you
Yeah,
and for sharing that, Various.
Because I
No problem.
need physics questions.
You have yourself a good day, all right?
Yeah, you too.
That was dope as hell. We have a new cult member. Artemis decided to hop up on the cult train. Welcome, Artemis. Let's get Vinci in here. If you guys are interested in evolution or hate evolution, go on ahead and request as well. And Plantman/Evan can go more in depth on evolution.
Yeah.
How's it going, Vinci?
Good, good. I'm not a theist.
You're a what?
I said I'm not a theist.
You're not a believer in God.
Yes, I am.
Okay, that would be a theist.
No, you're not an atheist. You're theistic. I think you might be getting that.
No, I'm not that either.
No. Do you
I
believe in
don't
God?
believe in these.
Do you believe in a God?
No, I don't believe in these quote unquote references. I'm just a believer of God.
Huh?
All right, the definition of theist is one who believes in God or gods, and atheist is a lack of belief in God or gods. If you believe in a god or gods, you are therefore, by definition, a theist. You are theistic because you believe in God. It's just a word to define that you do believe in some sort of a god. Which god do you believe in, Vinci?
Yeah, as I said, I don't believe in that. But let's move on.
Yes, you
Yeah,
do believe in it. If
as
you
you said-
believe in God, you are therefore theistic.
Theist means belief in God or gods.
All right. Okay. Right. So you have a question there that says there is no evidence of God.
Correct.
Correct.
How do
You
you
want to
know?
provide some?
How do you know that there is no evidence of God?
Depends on the claim. Provide it. Provide the evidence.
What evidence do you have?
No.
Yeah, enlighten us.
Yeah, but how do you know that there's no evidence of God?
Because God is a
Damn.
metaphysical claim of a deity outside of space-time that interacts with space-time, which is causally impossible in accordance with physics, and logically unsound, which is illogical and uncritical. Therefore, there is no evidence for it to be true, and it's undemonstrable and unfalsifiable. Do you have any evidence, Vinci? Do not try and critique if you don't know what you're talking about. I would love for you to provide your evidence, because we are saying there is no evidence. If there is evidence and we have not found it, then fucking provide it instead of arguing over it. I'm not going to do a semantical argument with you.
So the ancient manuscripts, the Bible, that's
Right. Ancient books written by human beings. Okay, what about them?
so the Bible. That's not an evidence of God existing.
No, it's an evidence of a human being writing with pen and paper.
Yeah, we know people did that for 4,000 years plus. So
Yeah, a human being writing their eyewitness.
Name one
accounts
eyewitness.
of the Gospels.
By who? Who wrote them?
Those Gospels.
Who wrote the
were
Gospels?
According to Matthew, who was there, according to Mark.
The Gospels are
That's
anonymous.
No.
Yeah, they're anonymous. The names of the Gospels were attributed in the 2nd century.
By how do you know that?
Irenaeus, the father.
He wrote it, right?
No,
read his
he
writing?
attributed it.
Yeah, but you wrote,
Thanks to him and some others. I did not say he fucking wrote it, dude. I said the names of the authors of the Gospels are anonymous. The names were later in the 2nd century attributed to Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. You got to pay attention if you want to have an argument.
Yeah. No, well, it's not an argument.
We are, by literal definition, arguing right now. What is up with you and fighting over words? Do you not believe words mean words? Okay.
Yeah, I believe it.
Get lost. Evan, why'd you drop? These folks just trust the stupidest things and reject all reality. No, is the evidence of Hindu writings mean their gods were real? I was about to bring that up too, but then he wanted to fight over the definition of arguing. And then he starts chuckling. Like, okay, you're just a troll. Hello, Cody in chat. I slept all day till now because sick. Hope all is well. Damn, sorry about that. Let's get Elle in here. Evan, come back. What's up, Elle?
How's it going?
Hey, man, you over the age of 18?
Yep.
All right. Which God do you believe in, brother?
Just a quick question, bro. Are you gonna get rid of that pedo stash anytime soon or not?
Which God do you believe in, brother?
The Christian one?
Awesome. What do you got for me today?
Nothing. Just like try to shave a little bit, bro.
So you have no evidence for God? I know there's no evidence for God, but I would love if you brought something to the table.
Nah, bro. It's just faith, man.
Yeah, faith is belief
What's your
without
problem
evidence.
with
Therefore,
people,
you're
like,
uncritical
believing
and
in God,
illogical.
bro? What's your problem with like Christianity and stuff?
Is
Or just
God
every
true?
religion? I believe he is.
Cool.
yeah.
Prove it.
I don't have to prove it to you.
You
bro. I
do.
can
The
already prove
burden
it
of
to
proof.
myself.
Also, 1 Peter 3:15
Why do I
of the
have to prove
Bible
it?
literally says when you're asked for the justification of why you believe that you should give it with respect.
I did.
No,
did.
you didn't. You
I
haven't
did.
provided anything. You just said the only explanation is faith. The Bible says to
Yeah, I
provide
have
an
a lot of
actual
faith.
explanation. So you're incapable. You've never read the book. Adios. Let's get Rock Life in here. Oh, Evan, you swapped over to your other account. Okay, gotcha. Why'd you swap over?
walking my dog. So.
Gotcha. Rock, let's get you in here. What's up, Rock?
What's up, bro?
Hey, man, you over the age of 18?
Yeah, I'm 26.
Awesome. Which God do you believe in, brother?
I wouldn't say I identify with any one religion because I've studied, or not studied, but I've looked into multiple. But I do
Okay.
believe in a God.
Okay, do you relate more or less to some philosophy?
I would say Christianity.
Okay, gotcha. Do you believe the Bible as true, inherent word of God?
No, I believe it could have been what's it like edited throughout the years or like
Okay, cool.
anything's possible, you know. But the only evidence or question I have for you is like, you know, the Shroud of Turin.
What if I
Or
told you that that was debunked?
it was how? I didn't know that.
So the
I
Shroud
wanna
of
hear about
Turin
it.
came out by some gentlemen that said, "Hey, I found this thing," and then when they tested it, it was dated to around 1300ish, 80, not BC. So it was
Okay, I
made
mean,
it was made over 1,000 years after Jesus' death. So it could not have been attributed to being on or with Jesus. It was a medieval forgery.
I mean, a lot of the carbon dates with how they find things, I don't understand how that works. So I don't know if
I highly
they're
recommend studying it
tying.
then. Carbon dating is extremely accurate. The only
But how do
issue
you
with
know?
how do we
You
know it?
only
Because
know
you
if you
can
go
study
back
it.
like
So how
thousands of
the
years.
only downside of carbon dating is you have to have a piece of fabric or whatever you're using for the dating, and it can't be tampered with. If it's tampered with, you're going to get some mixed signals. If it's not tampered with, it's very accurate.
Okay. And the only other like, what about like, I don't remember the exact name for it, but
Wax,
no, I'm talking about like the miracle at where they
Eucharistic
saw the
miracles,
Mother Mary,
right?
they saw the Mary Magdalene, multiple people.
None of them are verified true.
But like the one had like hundreds of people there that all saw the same thing.
Yeah, and people also used to see shooting stars and cry out angel. So how do we know what they saw? How do we know that they didn't hallucinate? How do we know that there wasn't some solar flash? How do we know that there wasn't a like a light bend of infraction of light causing a hallucination, not necessarily in the person's mind, but due to physics? Like, how do we not know this? Well, they won't let us test it, so we don't know, and it's inconclusive. All we have is hearsay.
Right.
Right,
I mean,
hearsay
like,
is
I'm
not
not
proof of
saying one
anything.
thing or another, but I'm saying,
Right, that's not evidence for anything of true value. Not at all.
I mean, what would you consider evidence?
That's a good question. If
Like
God
a
himself
picture of God?
came down, that'd be pretty fucking dope. A picture? Absolutely. Would you accept a picture
Right.
of my pen as evidence that I have a pen? Yeah, you would, because it would be
Right,
evidence that I have a
exactly.
pen. So a photo would be phenomenal. Do you have one?
I do not.
Right. So there is no evidence. There's no physical evidence. There's no logical soundness. There's no empirical data at all demonstrating a God to be true, real, anything.
Would you agree there is also no evidence that he doesn't exist?
I disagree with that. The Abrahamic God supposedly is transcendental, which means outside of space time. That is impossible to have causal relation with space time because cause and effect is due to having time. Cause is a point in time, effect is a later point in time. Without time, you cannot have cause and effect. So that is impossible. That God is not real. Thank
But
you.
was there time before the Big Bang?
I don't know. Was there?
I mean, that's the question. You said that there needs cause and effect, but they said that something caused the
Well,
Big
the
Bang.
expansion, no one says something caused the Big Bang. The expansion of the universe is the Big Bang. The expansion of time is the Big Bang. So to say something was before it is just ignorant. Arrogant,
But,
actually.
From what I understand, or what I've heard or learned, is
Your
that
arguments are 100% all from incredulity. I heard this, therefore it's got to be true. You should go study them and then provide an actual
mean-
argument for me to debunk for you.
all the stuff you're saying is what you heard too.
Incorrect. All the
and
stuff that I am
you said
saying
it
is stuff that
can't.
I have tested and critiqued and studied, looked into.
How can you test the
So how can I
causation of
test the
time and
causation
space?
of space-time and how space-time works? Well, the mathematical formulas and physics that align with it. So that's been done by people, and you can go and read the studies to understand them. Also, with the Big Bang, we've seen B radiation that demonstrates it to be true. So again, I'm going to tell you, go and study. Find something of substance to provide to me, and then we can have a conversation. But right now, you're just
I'll
giving
try to
me
find
this person
something
said
for
X,
you.
Y, and Z, therefore it's true, and that's just stupid.
I mean, the Shroud of Turin and the
It has been literally
saying the
debunked
same
in accordance
thing.
with. We already did talk about the Shroud, and I explained how it's debunked, and he went back
Okay,
to
forget the
it.
Shroud of Turin. What about the hundreds of people?
I
you
already
said you
explained
found
that.
a
What
bunch
was
of
my
light
explanation, dude?
refractions and all that, but like that sounds like a bunch of like excuses of why
Excuses?
hundreds of people.
Excuses? It happens all the time when you're walking in the desert or when you're driving on the highway on a hot day and you see, what is it called, a mirage? How do you know it wasn't a mirage?
You don't see your Mother Mary.
How do you know it was a mirage? How do you know it wasn't a mirage? I'm going to ask for the third fucking time, and if you don't provide a response, I'm just going to drop you for being a waste of space.
You're a little angry, bro.
Yeah, I'm a little annoyed with stupidity. I don't have patience for dumbasses. What is wrong? How does me getting angry and frustrated mean that I'm wrong? It doesn't. You can be correct and angry. You can be incorrect and angry. You can be correct and happy and incorrect and happy. Doesn't matter if I'm feeling frustrated. I'm frustrated with your circularity. I have a justification for why I'm getting frustrated because I had to explain myself multiple times, and you're incapable of comprehending anything that I said, nor are you capable of providing any demonstration of evidence to any degree at all, except for, I was told this, which is an argument from incredulity, which is a fallacy. You are illogical. So yes, I got frustrated by illogical arguments consistently coming up over and over. Yes. All right, Liquid's been up here before. I am so smart. No, I'm not. How's it going, Liquid? Hey, man, which God do you believe in?
Christ.
Okay, cool. What you got for us today, brother?
All I really got to say, I'm not really trying to push nothing on you. All I'm really trying to say is I see you up here every day live yearning for God, right?
Yearning?
For evidence of,
I love arguments.
I would say it's a yearn because you're on here every day, actively putting your energy towards it. You know,
Yeah,
looking
because
forward,
I
trying
enjoy
to see something
philosophy.
out of it.
Yeah, I enjoy
Do
philosophy.
you ever believe that we can find the evidence of God within ourselves and how we feel?
How do you know it's true and not something else? This is
How do
called
you know
philosophy.
that you're actively taking in these conscious emotions? How do you explain
What?
that consciousness?
That
and
was
the
a
adaptive?
weird question.
Huh?
What? Rephrase
How
that?
do you actively understand that you're taking in these emotions and feelings into your consciousness?
Huh? That's
How do you
nonsensical.
actively?
I
That's
observe
pretty
the
sensical.
universe and my brain processes information, and in accordance with what it processes, it will probably say to release dopamine or serotonin or whatever chemical to make me feel a certain way. So by
Okay, and do you believe that
observations
due to these
and
dopamine
brain
receptors,
chemistry.
right?
Huh?
Do you believe due to these dopamine receptors?
What did I just
right?
say?
You didn't let me finish.
No, I was in the middle of talking and you started talking. Don't try to gaslight me.
Brother, I'm not trying to argue with you. Calm down.
I'm trying
Keep
to
going.
argue.
Well, I think that's the first problem. Is that
What's the
you're yearning
definition
for
of
an
argue?
explanation.
What's the
I
definition
think
of...
you're yearning for an
Oh my God,
explanation when you
dude.
really have to ask.
Go preach in church, bud. This ain't the place.
Yeah.
You're yearning for the truth of Odin. The fact that you're coming up on an atheistic channel, you just obviously haven't found Odin yet. It's really sad to see. You need to go find the one true Odin.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to argue, he said in an argument platform. I know that was rough.
Yeah.
Rose
This is-
skeptic. All right.
Hi.
What is
What's
up,
name?
skeptic?
All good. I want just to make one note, which is the guy before.
Are you over the age of 18?
Not the first two guys before.
Are you over the age of
He
18?
was saying about,
Are you over the age of 18?
sorry, yes, I'm 43.
All right. Which God do you believe in?
I don't believe in any. I want to make just a philosophical comment.
Well, I don't want you to.
God, what was that for?
He doesn't believe in
Okay.
God.
True.
He's not here to argue. He's like the third person to request up and want to share their own thoughts and agreements. I don't want that. I want opposition. This isn't their platform. Awesome, V. Appreciate you. I know you have a position, but your position seems to be in agreements with ours. And I'm here for, if you read theists only.
And I'm only here because I've been here since day one. And I'm a biology student.
He is daddy.
Yep.
Can anyone explain how the universe began? Yeah, it started in a hot, dense state nearly 14 million years ago. Then expansion started. Wait. Explain how you find God within. That's a nonsensical statement. You just need to find him within. He's just in your heart. Well, I would hope not, because that would require me going to a hospital, because nothing should be in my heart. My heart is a muscle. Well, that's not what I mean by heart. I mean soul. Okay, demonstrate that a soul exists. Well, okay, you can't demonstrate that. Yeah, no shit, so I don't have a justification to believe in it. Thank you. All right, MSCAT. Oh, you've been here before. You're accidentally requesting up. I'm not actively angry. I'm frustrated with your stupidity, but I'm not angry. If you think this is anger, you have a very soft life.
Oh my god, there's someone in the chat called Dinosaurs Don't Exist.
Yes, they followed as well. Define justification. Go study epistemology and you'll understand. I shouldn't have to be your teacher. Provide evidence for your God or fuck off. Define definition. What do you mean by believe? Yeah, the Jordan Peterson tactic.
Petersonian. Petersonian. Dinosaurs don't exist. I guess birds don't exist.
According to science, the universe did have a beginning. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It wasn't an explosion.
There was a beginning to the expansion.
Dinosaurs don't exist. If you don't believe dinosaurs
Oh
exist,
shit!
then
Look, an old school. We have an old school troll. I haven't had you up here in a while, man. How's it going?
Hello, bro. How are you?
Doing all right, man. How are you doing? What you been up to?
I'm good. I'm seeing you on my For You page a lot.
Hell yeah! Well, which God do you believe in, brother? You're a Christian, right?
Nah, bro. I'm
Muslim.
a lifter, bro. I believe in dumbbells, bro.
Awesome. What's up, HD? Love that car. It's a gorgeous car. Want to swap?
Nah, what car you got?
Wrangler. Nah. All right. You over the age of 18, brother?
Yes, sir.
All right. Which God do you believe in?
Well, I'm giving an argument for a theistic God, but my
Which
faith,
God?
Well, the Christian God.
Cool. All right. What you got for me today?
Oh yeah, so yeah, I have like a serious issue when you have positions such as there's no evidence for God. It's literally identical to saying that there are no arguments or no data that improves the probability of a God existing. It's like saying that okay, you know for a fact because the
Yeah, no,
non-evidence
nothing
proposition.
raises the probability of something because for probability you have to have comparison of something that does exist demonstrably. So you're correct that there is no probability of it unless you're able to provide a comparison evidence. Do you have anything to provide demonstrable that could prove that your God can be or not be probable or less probable?
Oh yeah, so you could take old forms of philosophical arguments, such as the argument for motion by Aristotle, that basically talks about change, right? So the idea that objects have positions in space, and an object could have been otherwise in a different location in space, but given the fact that the object is at this specific location, that entails that the object always had the potential to be in that location. And then you can talk about the object being moved. Okay, that is change, and that's an argument for motion. We know that, right? That for this change that had happened, that there had to be some type of thing that is tied to that object that allowed for it to be moved, or allowed for it to change motion,
False.
or allowed for it to change location. Why?
Objects in motion stay in motion until stopped by an external force. Objects at rest stay at rest until changed by an external force. So if the objects were in motion, there's no cause needed for them to be in motion.
What?
Yeah, go study the physics that you're trying to. It is literally.
That's not the
You're
argument.
straw manning the argument. You are
Can you
straw
explain
manning it.
my argument?
You're straw
Can you
manning the
explain that
argument.
again?
You're straw
Yeah,
manning the
sure.
argument. So I would love for you to provide evidence that matter was put into motion by some external cause.
Was that a part of my premise?
Is that not your argument?
Yeah, well,
Are you trying to
look,
demonstrate that matter cannot be in motion without external cause? Yes or no?
that's not a simple argument.
I
We're
just
talking about
asked you a
things.
yes or no question. If I'm incorrect, say no. If I am correct, say yes.
It's for look.
Is your
you're jumping
argument?
the- You're jumping the gun. You're jumping the gun.
I'm
I
helping you
haven't
land the
got
plane.
to
I'm
that
helping you
point.
land the plane. Is your point that matter and the existence of things could not have been put into motion without an external cause? Yes or no?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I already
But
know your
that's
argument because
that's
I've
not
read it a
argument
million
that I'm making
times.
right now.
There is no evidence
Yeah, that's not the
justifying
argument
that.
I'm
So
making right
I'd love
now.
for you to provide a
That's not the argument I'm
justification.
making right now, bro.
Well,
Look,
then
when
land
you
the
talk about
plane.
motion,
Land the
when you talk
plane.
about motion, when you talk about motion, you talk about change. You can talk about things such as qualitative change. It does
Slow
not
down,
only
bud.
have to be
Slow down.
the idea that
Slow
yes,
down.
okay. When you talk about motion and you talk about change, this does not only refer to a strict location in space. It can also be a
What does
local
God have
location,
to do
or it
with
can
it?
also be qualitative change.
What does God have to do
So
with it?
motion, yes, we're getting to there. This
Then
is,
land the
do you know how
plane.
arguments work, bro?
Land the plane. Do you know how
Do
getting
you
to
know
the
how
point
arguments
works? Do you know
work?
how getting to the point
But
works?
anyways, yeah. So, when you talk about change, we're not simply talking about
Oh my
change. We can
God.
also talk about qualitative change and
If you're incapable of getting to the point, don't request up. It's annoying to just go in circles. You got to provide a justification that something caused motion. That's the whole point of your argument. You literally said yes. You literally agreed with me when I was steel manning your argument. Get to the point. Provide the justification that God caused the change, or that there even needed to be a change. Vlad, let's get you on here. Vladimir. What's up, Vlad? I love that PFP, bro.
Oh, hello.
Hello. You're over the age of 18, Vlad?
Yes.
Okay, which God do you believe in?
Creator one. But
Okay.
first time I want to introduce that. Sorry for my bad English. I am a Romanian guy, but I think I can debate with you.
Your
about,
English is very
this
good.
subject.
I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Of course. All right,
I
what
want
do you have?
to have your opinion. What?
No, continue. I apologize.
What is your opinion about the fine-tuning argument?
I don't think it's justification for a
I think
God.
it's the most evidence of God.
How is it evidence of God?
I don't know, but we have so much, very many constants that can exist life without it, or universe. You understand?
Do you have a demonstration that God made the constants?
Yes.
Wonderful. Provide it.
Maybe a creator.
No, you gotta demonstrate that. What epistemic justification says that you are true?
I don't know. What is your opinion about this argument? You have something
I think it's stupid.
counter-argument?
Physics are physics.
Like-
Cool. Physics are our
Yeah.
descriptions of how the universe works.
Yeah. As
Okay,
a
but the constants are
as Unreal
too
Dev said in the
fine-tuning.
comments, fine-tuning argument is just survivorship bias.
Okay, Vlad,
Um,
for the fine-tuning argument, go look up the anthropic principle.
Yeah.
Uh,
But also,
anthropic principle,
if the
yeah,
universe is
because we are
fine-tuned,
here.
Vlad, if the universe is fine-tuned for life, then I think that
Not
we
for life,
expect
not for life, for the universe. If the gravitational constant was too low,
Demonstrate that it could
or
be
too
too low
high.
or too high. Demonstrate that it could be
demonstrate that it
different.
could be any different. Like,
Yeah, I can demonstrate
it is the way it
can
is
be
currently
different,
because that's the way it is.
but why is this number? Why it's not any number?
You're talking about sensitivity analysis. If gravity changed, shit would go haywire. So what? It isn't changing. It is the way it is. We could describe that by the theory of gravity, why it works and how it works. It has nothing to do with God. God didn't put it there.
Yes, but if there is no God, this constant will be random. So
False.
why is this number? Why is this number?
False.
Why?
You're presupposing that gravity has to have a God to make it be the way that it is. The theory of gravity explains how and why gravity does what it does. And it has nothing to do with a God. Gravity is just mass, distance, and other mass pulling into by pushing down in the gravitational field to allow for objects to pull together. It could not be different. That's how it works. No God made it that way, and it will not be different.
Okay, but why?
Go look it up. Go look it up. Vlad, go look it up. I explained it twice. I've explained to you twice
I know
the
that,
why and how.
But this is not an explanation.
Yes, it
like,
is. Literally 100% is an explanation for how gravity works, why it does what it does, where it come from, and that it cannot be different. You're the one saying God made it. Prove it.
Okay, but if
There's no but.
God,
There's no but.
if there is no God, this constant will be random.
All right, I'm done with him. Have at him, Evan.
Okay. Yeah, no, there's no but. We don't know that the constants could be different.
Okay, but this is an argument for the fine-tuning argument.
The fine-tuning argument is literally just. Let me give you an analogy.
Like
puddle,
I think it's a circular argument.
Vlad, is a pothole designed for a puddle. You know what the word pothole is?
Yes.
Is that designed for a puddle, or does the puddle form?
I know you give an analogy to anthropic principle, but I don't think it's an argument. It's like a circular argument. Like this constant is this because can be another. Like I don't think this is an argument for the.
Here, let me use your logic on you. Let me use your logic on you, Vlad. I don't think your argument's an argument, but I win.
Yeah, mine was an analogy using the same logic you're using. If the constants are fine-tuned for the universe existing, then a pothole is fine-tuned for a puddle.
I know. I don't say that the fine tuning is for life, but for the universe.
Vlad, did God make gravity?
Universe. What?
Did God make gravity?
Yes.
Prove it.
If he doesn't create.
Prove it.
He doesn't.
Nope. This is a scientific empirical claim. Prove it.
I know, but if there is no.
No buts. Stop with your buts. Stop pivoting. You said God made gravity. Prove it. This is a scientific claim. Prove it.
Wait, this is the proof that if there is no creator,
dude is not capable of moving on.
Yeah, that was annoying. Also, dinosaurs don't exist. Please come up, because I don't know. I'm guessing
Evan would have a field day.
So I'm guessing you don't believe in evolution, and I'd prefer to. Debate with you. I think I could very easily. Atheists with PhDs in hard science. Well, yeah, sure. The universe is it appears fine-tuned, but only because we're observing it. Yeah, we have no evidence of design. You know what would be really good design? Simplicity. I think that if the evidence of design would be simplicity, fine-tuning argument the worst. Actually, fine-tuning argument is just the most mediocre.
I agree.
It's not able to be defended or enforced or It's not to be defended.
Did this
or
dude just say, isn't it amazing how my
attacked.
nose is designed to hold glasses? Glasses were designed for your nose, dude.
Cody,
What?
Cody, that's a joke. That
Okay. That's a good one. I like
bananas,
that.
it's like how bananas are designed to fit
To fit
perfectly
the hand.
in your hand. No, it's that
That's
we
rough.
literally bred bananas.
I don't like the phrasing of the fine tuning argument, because to say it's tuned in and of itself is implying something made it that way. I do agree that there's order in the universe, but it is not tuned by something to be that way. That is the description that we have provided by observation of what it is versus our ideas of what it could have been. There's nothing tuned about it.
James.
Oh.
No, James.
Agreed.
M Thames.
Do you need to provide how it's an illusion of design? No, I don't. You're the one with the claim that it is. Prove it. It's a good question, Unreal. Prove God did it.
I got an internship I have to deal with.
Paka, prove it. Vlad, prove it.
I'm practicing.
Mysterious, prove it. Paka, prove it. Two words that theists cannot fight. Prove it.
Yeah.
Jordan, let's get you in here, man. Hopefully we can have a good argument. What's up, Jordan?
Yo.
Hey, man, you over the age of 18?
Yeah.
Awesome. Which God do you believe in, brother?
Jesus.
Okay. Oh, man. So many Christians today. I want a Hindu or something. Come on, give me a challenge. All right, what you got for me today, brother?
You're talking about prove it. I was wondering, is it possible for you to prove
By
that you're
definition,
not-
proof is evidence and information leading to a true conclusion. So yes, I do want you to literally prove it, which means to provide evidence justifying it as true. Do you have that? Yes or no? Do not argue definitions with me. I will kick your absolute ass in it because the Oxford Dictionary is fucking awesome.
No, I just wanted to know if you can prove
I just
that
gave you
you're
an
not-
answer. You're the one with the claim. Do not burden
Oh.
shift.
Why do you have guests if you're
You're
just the only
burden
one
shifting.
talking?
You're burden shifting, and now you're pivoting and gaslighting. Congratulations, you're a fool in multiple ways. So would you like to provide justification for your belief that Jesus is God? Or would you like to continue burden shifting like a fallacious bitch?
I thought we could have a
I
conversation.
thought you could have a conversation too! I'm ready for an actual conversation, not a trolley bitch. And there's the report in 3, 2, 1. Where's it at? I'm waiting for it. Oh, Amanda, you did want to join. Okay, we let you up earlier and it like kicked you off. That's why I was declining your request. I apologize. How's it going, Amanda? That's an interesting.
I have a
Whoa,
great statement. Can you give me the
bro, you're like 5.
Yeah. I like only heard a bit of that. How old is this guy?
Here, hold my burden.
Yes.
Request up, dinosaur. Prove me wrong.
Please, like, come on. I want to talk to you about evolution because I doubt you believe in, the ancient age of the Earth, evolution. You definitely don't believe in dinosaurs.
Bad news, chat. I flipped Antarctica upside down, and there's a "Made by God"
Amanda,
sticker
you're
under
not
there.
51.
50.
Let's give him a chance.
51.
Maybe he flipped around. Maybe with the numbers flipped around, sure.
Request up so I can purposefully harass. Wonderful. Let's do that. Awesome. Best of luck. I want to have some actual debates, guys. If you have a philosophical inquiry, provide it. If you have actual demonstrable evidence, provide it. But when we provide a counter to your argument, you got to respond to the counter instead of saying, but I don't accept that. No, if you don't accept it, explain why, and we can go from there. Provide something of substance. I don't want to just run in circles. Oh my God. I would love to get some other religions up in here. If you believe in supernatural ghosts, spirits, divination, request up. If you believe in gods, request up. If you believe in the devil or devils, request up. If you believe in demons and angels, request up. If you believe in Vishnu, Odin, Zeus, Hecate, any of them, request up. Interesting. Dinosaurs aren't real, then what are birds? Exactly. What are those? What are those?
I'll tell you what they are.
No.
They're
I don't need an
they're
in-depth
government
explanation.
drones.
Okay.
God is a forensic metaphysical. Do you know what forensic means, Taylor? Do you know? Because my forensic teacher in senior year would be very disappointed.
And yes, God is metaphysical.
But he's not. But he's not forensic.
Oh God, KB, let's get you in here, brother. Let's do it. Hey,
The
brother,
working mic
you still
man.
running
That's
modal?
genuine. You should leave. Scientology's bad.
Hey, brother, you still running modal? Is that what you're wanting to do today, or?
No, I mean you don't like that argument, right?
You don't accept it at all to any degree. Like I can use S5 for the universe being necessary. Like,
I
or
didn't
I can flip it on
invoke
its head.
S5 in my syllogism.
Any modal I can swap over into its on its head. Like when it
Well,
comes to an unproven, a non-empirical, non-falsifiable, unjustified thing, it is just not true. You can flip it. That's just,
but
you know this. You know this.
in my argument, I didn't actually invoke the S5.
Did I say that? No, I moved on
Yeah,
and
you
said
yeah,
for
you
any
said,
modal
yeah, you
scope.
said
I
you
said
could
for
flip the
any
S5
modal. I said for any modal. Did I not? Don't gaslight. Don't gaslight.
Well,
That's
did you
embarrassing.
not mention the S5?
I mentioned that and I added on to
Okay.
it. Stop gaslighting. So, what
I
argument
thought
do you have
I thought you were
today?
taking the two together.
So, what argument do you have today?
Yeah, so I would just say that like our reasoning system, right? We
Okay,
would take
fair enough.
What?
I said okay, fair enough. Continue.
No, I said yeah, our reasoning system, right?
Okay.
I would say that we would take like two hypotheses, and then we would take like statements that are true, and we would basically see if these statements raise the probability of either hypothesis, and whichever
can't.
hypothesis has the evidence raised. Like
You
we would just
can't.
say there's a high probability of that statement.
You can't raise probability for an uncomparable claim of God.
Well, we would say there's two hypotheses, right? So if we say hypothesis one, God exists,
Well,
hypothesis
A,
two,
that's
God
a
does
false
not
dichotomy.
exist.
B, there's no probability
Wait, so
for it.
God either exists or doesn't. What's the
K-
false dichotomy?
Yeah, there could be other types of gods. There could be aliens
Yeah,
that
then
are
God would
defined
still
as
exist.
gods.
Then
that-
God would still exist.
Not
what?
capital G, lowercase. Dude, why are you
Well,
gaslighting
but
so
God
much?
would still exist.
Slow down.
I'm so I
Slow
don't
down.
see you. You're just talking for the sake of talking.
A god existing or not existing? Sure. You know what? I'll grant that. I'll accept
But
that.
I don't
You're
even
fair.
see what there is to grant. That's
What-
like obviously a true dichotomy.
Sure.
So if we said like,
So here's the issue,
hypothesis one-
KB. You're
Yeah.
talking probability with something that you literally can't demonstrate any comparability for. That doesn't
well, you
work.
didn't. Do you know what like system I'm working under when I mention probability?
When you say probability, does it require comparison? Yes or no?
It requires right. So I'll explain it. Right, I'll break it down for you. So we would take two
I asked
hypotheses.
you a yes or no.
Yeah, but I'm breaking it down for you so you can
KB.
critique it. You can't
KB.
critique it if you don't understand it.
Does probability require comparison? Yes or no?
What do you mean by comparison? Explain.
You know exactly what I mean. Don't Jordan
No, I
Peterson
don't. Explain.
me.
I'm dumb. No, I'm dumb. Explain.
Well, if you're dumb, I'm going to kick you for not being able to argue
Don't
in
run.
good
Don't
faith.
run, man. Don't run. Don't run. Don't
Are
run.
you able to argue in good faith? I would love for
Yes, I'm
an
asking you to
honest
explain what
interlocutor.
terms
I
you're
even
using.
admitted when I was wrong to a dichotomy argument. I need you to
Yeah,
be
I'm
able to
asking
be
you to
honest
explain what
enough to
terms you're
admit
using.
when you're being stupid too.
I'm just asking you to explain your terms.
You already know what compare means.
No, I'm dumb. Explain. I want to know that
You know what? Dude, I'm not playing games. Go fuck
Don't
yourself.
run.
That's ridiculous. What's up,
You got
MLH?
baked.
Yep.
You got baked.
Totally got baked. Dude doesn't understand the definition of compare, yet wants to argue for comparison. I got baked, though. You're requesting back only if you're willing to be honest, dude. I'm okay to hear your philosophical argument. I'm okay with philosophy of God. But you have to be honest.
Also, my argument's not philosophical, you know.
Is God metaphysics?
Huh?
We're talking about God, dude.
Is God metaphysics?
Is God metaphysical?
Yes, God is a metaphysical thing, yes.
Then we are talking philosophy.
How does that follow? Like, you understand.
You don't know what metaphysics is?
Yeah, don't. That's like the most bullshitty thing I've ever heard. God is metaphysical. We're talking philosophy. What the fuck? Guys, we're talking philosophy, so we won't bring up the metaphysical
I'm
thing called
okay
God.
arguing the philosophy of God. For instance, KB, I actually almost agreed with you. When you started going down the reasoning route, I can agree that you can reason.
Water is not metaphysical.
I can agree that you can reason God in existence in your own imagination. I can agree that you can have good reasoning to believe in a God based on your own subjective experience. If you would have continued down the reasoning route, we would have came to a cool conclusion. But instead of reasoning, you went down probability, which requires comparison, which requires demonstrability, to which you have
I'm
none.
gonna just explain this to KB. Sorry, metaphysics definition: the branch of philosophy that deals with first principles of things, including abstract concepts such as being, knowing, substance, cause, identity, time, and space. Okay, a branch of philosophy.
Literally. No, we're not letting KB up, and he's blacklisted now. He's incapable of having an
Yeah, he doesn't know
honest
what
argument.
metaphysics is.
He does. He's just trolling. Who do I notify on the Discord to get the YouTube mod
I
channel
know when
back?
someone's trolling, especially a British person.
Haley.
trolling.
He was definitely trolling because he's got a really big TikTok account too, 6,300 followers. Yeah,
Mm.
I don't think he was genuinely trolling. No, I think he was genuinely trolling. He knows what he's talking about. He's just fucking around.
I've been prepping for this interview for the last like 2 days.
Who talks about things they don't believe in? Me. I love philosophy.
Creationists.
So, like, here's a philosophical writing that I had last night on ontology and phenomenological experience in accordance with epistemic justification. I'm actually not going to read that out. It's kind of personal. Like, if you guys brought up a phenomenological explanation as to why you believe in God, awesome. I can accept that as valid. I can accept that as true in your worldview, but I can't accept it as ontologically true of reality. Why? Because there's no evidence for it. There's no justification except for subjective experience. And that doesn't mean it's true. Michael, yes, ontologically true of reality. Ontology is the study of what is. So like, can't blacklist on internet. There's so many platforms and channels. Yeah, that's true. Less than 100 people watching. That's true too. Why should truth have to correspond to reality? Well, it doesn't necessarily, but you would have to justify that reality is a certain way. So like, I would love for something like idealism to be true, but how do you justify that, right? Because feeling something has explanations. So just because you feel something doesn't mean that you feeling it makes it true. We can actually find a mechanism as to why you're feeling what you're feeling, which then makes it physical. So like you have to provide something of substance to ground what you're saying. For ontologies revolved around God being an axiom, first of all, that's not an axiom. You can grant it as your own personal axiom, but it doesn't make it true. Axiom is self-evident. God is not a self-evident thing except for in your own head. You are redefining it. Yeah, we absolutely could be wrong about everything in reality. I accept the possibility of we're not able to prove anything objectively. So then what do we rely on as truth? Well, what we have of axioms of reality. Things exist. If things didn't exist, nothing works. If axioms aren't true, then nothing works. So I ground my reality in that. Does that make it absolutely objectively 1,000% absolute? No. But there's no argument against it. And if it isn't true, nothing works. That's why it's granted. Axioms are granted their truthfulness without proof.
Yeah.
Like even my epistemology relies on metaphysics, of course, and it relies on subjective claims, yes. But if those claims are not true, nothing is. So we grant it.
Your thoughts, emotions happen on you in your mind. Well, your thoughts and emotions. I mean, your emotions can express.
That's a good
outside of your body.
actually question.
The thoughts, unless you write them down, I mean, I guess they happen only in your brain. Yeah.
The Philbro wave is going to ramp up soon. Yeah, it's already coming in. You take every possible position he takes is my point. No, they don't. So I'm an empiricist, a natural empiricist, and many people that trust science tend to lean more empirical than not.
Yeah.
So like we just happen to correlate our systems.
Me and Cody agree basically on I think most everything.
Yeah, I started researching lately though, Evan. So like with that argument I just provided that things could be false, fallibilism, very interesting. It's kind of like true skepticism in that we actually cannot know all things. It's a very interesting philosophy. I was talking with Nobody about that the other day, and he said that he knows quite a few fallibilists. I can't conclude it as true just because the possibility of, for instance, all gods being true, or at least possibly true, in and of itself becomes contradictory, which cannot be true, making the fallibilistic mindset untrue in and of itself. So I shut it down quite quickly after I started thinking about it and writing it out. But I think it's a really cool idea that everything that we believe and know could be wrong, and or all things that we know could also be all true. That's a really cool thought, but I don't think it has any grounding at all. It's 100% conceptual.
Yeah.
You seem calm today? Yeah, I got the correct nicotine. I was over the top yesterday for sure. 100%. Back to the Shroud of Turin. Contamination can skew. Yes, 100%. But to say that there was contamination requires justification. So you have to epistemically
and also, by
prove
the way,
it.
if there was contamination, it was done by the priests. Because guess what? The priests are the one that selected the pieces.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
The phenomenology argues that consciousness is an embodied experience. Yes. Well, phenomenology is we are feeling this. The mechanism of feel goes into neurology and brain chemistry. What about the image?
Yeah. I've heard people say that like the amount that like it was done by somehow like light, and I don't even know what that even means.
when time is zero, does not something external need to push the domino? Not necessarily. Energy, or
Rob,
let me rephrase that. The default
just because
state of the
it's
universe is
unexplained doesn't
motion.
mean it's impossible or like magic.
Do anyone here
Can your
believe
consciousness lie
in
to
the
you and
operational thought
you
of
can
yourself is
miss the
unique?
pareidolia, evolutionary creationism? Names come up. I want to talk about.
There's a couple of interesting thoughts that I'd like to come up. Colon. Is that a semicolon? Or no, it's not. Come up as well. I'd love to chat with you about that as well. We do have Star. We got this gentleman again. I don't know about bringing that guy up again. I don't care for Aristotelian logic.
Stars are friendly.
Why do Fieldbros think God needs their help to make itself apparent to us? Well, again, that from all the studies I'm finding is the theological explanations of God in ontological frameworks requires them to accept axioms that God is without any epistemic justification. So it's more or less just them accepting an axiom to fill a gap of knowledge. So because all these arguments delve into the same worldviews, they're going to happen to follow along the same axioms, right? Rock Life, let's get you in here, brother.
All right.
What's up, brother? Oh, you're back.
Yeah. So you told me to do some more research. I did. About the Shroud of Turin, you know, I was talking about in the chat. You said that it was disproven because of the carbon dating, but the carbon dating was done in 1988.
Yeah, there's also a 2025 as well.
Yeah.
Can be
It's been done multiple times, brother.
contaminated or thrown off because of repair patches.
Yes, brother. So what?
And
Contaminated
the
can be
image
thrown off.
But how did they get the image on that shroud in or medieval times?
Well,
and
look
we
at
still can't even explain.
Rock, slow down. First of all, look at the material that it's made out of. Is it possible that it was woven? Is it possible that paints were used?
Also,
I don't think so because
you don't think so? Then I don't care about your opinion. I don't care about your thoughts. I care about the justification.
Rock, by the way, the type of weaving pattern.
How the image got there.
The weaving pattern was made in I think the 10th century.
Yes.
Also,
like we know it's medieval.
What about the miracle of Fatima?
I already explained that, brother. All the Eucharistic miracles are, first of all, 100% hearsay. Second of all, any of the miracles, for instance, of the DNA splicing, or not splicing, but the DNA of blood. First of all, we don't know if, yes, it came back as DNA of blood, but first of all, we don't know if it transformed from fucking bread. There's no evidence of that. How do we know that they didn't get blood and then put it into their labs and make up the story of how they got it? Like, you have to have justification for all of this, and they won't allow peer review for that. They're literally hiding. The Catholics are hiding the evidence, brother. Like, literally. Now, if I were to be religious, I would choose Catholicism because of that reason.
I was just bringing up the Shroud of Turin and the
right. You got to question further, brother. Just because someone says that this is possible, A, doesn't mean it happened. B, there could be other explanations.
Right, but also just because there could be other explanations doesn't mean that it isn't true.
You're right, but you're the one with the claim, and you're the one with the burden to prove it to be true, not me. If I tell you there's a unicorn in my backyard, it's not your job to debunk me. It's my job to prove it to you. You should not believe me until the burden of proof is met. So I should not believe you until the burden of proof is met as well. This is called logical coherence. I'm being consistent with my logic and framework of thinking. It's called critical thinking, okay? We have to follow the same framework of thinking, and when we are wrong, we update our way of thinking, and we adapt and learn.
I'm always open to learn and take new knowledge.
Okay. Good.
I'll go back and I'll do more research and I'll come back with with what I find.
Here's the thing. It seems to me that you are 100% getting all of your information from biased reports because you have not brought up any secular study at all, only the Answers in Genesis study. You need to do both sides. You need to look at both sides of the story. Look at the secular and look at the religious. See what the arguments are for and the arguments against, and then find the epistemic justification for which one you should believe.
All right, I'll dive a little deeper. And I see you on live a couple times, so I'll request up when I got
All
some
right, brother.
more information for
You have
you.
yourself a good one, all right?
You too.
Star, are you friendly? You've requested up a few times. You have to demonstrate how you ruled out natural explanations. Exactly. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom, brother. You can request up. Kat, I'm just having me and Evan up today, but I appreciate you wanting to hop up.
Wait, are we letting Star up?
I apologize. What?
Are we letting Star up?
Yeah. If Star is not a friendly, yeah, friendly but not in agreement. Oh, sure. Yeah, sure. Let Star up, and I'll be back.
Okay, cool. I'll just talk to him. Hello. Just make sure you're over the age of 18, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So you said you're friendly, but you're not in agreement on what?
The existence of God. Hold up, let me just switch connections because I just got home.
Oh, so wait, do you believe in God or not?
Yeah, I believe in God, yeah.
Oh, so you're opposition. You're not friendly. Well, you're a friendly person, but.
That's why I said not in agreement.
Oh, so you said you were friendly. All right. Anyway. Well, which God?
Christian God.
All right. What's your best evidence?
My best evidence is gonna. Wait, by the way, first, what's your view of the PSR?
What?
The PSR.
PSR?
Yeah.
I'm unfamiliar.
It's the principle of sufficient reason. Like, do you think that all contingent things must have like some explanation as to why they exist?
Well, I'm unfamiliar with the topic, so I'm not going to comment on it. So.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. Anyway, so what's your best argument? What was evidence, I should say?
Well, it's just going to depend on the theory of time you hold to. Like, if you hold to A theory, I'll run the argument for motion. If you don't hold to A theory, I'll just run like an infinite regress per se of explanations being impossible.
Well, I'm more leaning to B theory, but I'm still agnostic on time, even if it exists. Alright. Yeah. Cody is better with the argument side, but I mean, you said you're Christian.
I apologize. What's going on?
He's Christian.
Hey, what's up, bro?
I thought you agreed with us.
No, he apparently.
No, I said I'm friendly, but not in agreement. If you're like, read what I said.
Friendly person, not in
Gotcha.
agreement on.
All right, yeah. You're over the age of 18.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, which God? Christian, right?
Christian God, yeah.
Okay, cool. What you got for us?
Well, like, firstly, what view of the PSR do you hold to?
I don't know what that means.
Principle of sufficient reason. Like, every contingent thing. Empiricist? I mean, that's fine. Do you think that, like, every contingent thing must have some explanation as to why they exist?
Every contingent thing? Yeah, I would say so. Sure.
Okay, perfect. Right. And do you hold to B theory or A theory?
I'm sorry?
Do you hold to A theory of time or B theory of time?
I'm pretty ignorant, but to my ignorance, I would say B.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
I'm ignorant though, so I might change my mind mid-conversation.
Yeah, you're good. Don't worry. So how do you deal with like an infinite regress per se
I don't.
of explanations?
I don't.
What do you mean you don't?
So infinite regress isn't proven true nor false. So I just don't subscribe to any. I don't justify any answer. I don't subscribe to yes or no.
You do hear that it's going to be like one or the other. If B theory is true,
it doesn't mean that it's been proven. Just because it's possible of a true dichotomy does not mean that either or is proven. So why would I subscribe to something?
Either or is proven. I'm saying that if we have like a true dichotomy, you're either going to pick one or the other.
I can agree that there is a true dichotomy. Here's the thing, though, brother. When it comes to infinite regression being true or not does not require a God or not, because infinite regression may not be true, but there could also be a deeper mechanic in physics that explains it.
Well, no, because I'm not even speaking of like.
Are you telling me that it is not plausible if infinite regression is not true, it is not
Infinite
plausible
regression
that
can't
there
be
could
true.
be.
That's the point.
That's not. What study proves that false?
Well, firstly, I'm talking about a hierarchical series. Are you familiar?
No.
Okay, it's just basically
What's your
series
ontology?
where. What do you mean? Like my view of
Okay,
ontology? I
like
hold
your
to, like, the Thomistic
worldview,
view.
right? You hold to
Yeah,
a
I hold to
which?
the Thomistic view.
What is that? Explain that to me.
It's basically people who follow the theology and philosophy of St. Thomas Aquinas.
Okay, cool. What are your axioms for God?
I don't think God is an axiom. Do you mean like my metaphysics?
I mean, no, I agree with that. Yeah, your metaphysics. Give me your axioms for metaphysics and ontology of the universe.
Well, I'm gonna like appeal to like some substances, immaterial substances, acting
Okay.
potency. I mean I'm not even gonna have to appeal to that if we don't go
So,
into a
so you don't have any axioms grounding your belief that there is a God?
No, there definitely are. Like we could just go through logical axioms too.
Well, do you hold to the axioms of reality then?
And what do you mean by
like
axioms
things
of
exist?
reality? Yeah, of course.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you hold to like the typical axioms that we hold in reality. Things
Yeah,
exist,
of course.
things that go up, come down, like typical axioms, right? Okay, so
I wouldn't say those are really axioms.
things exist is literally by definition an
No,
axiom.
things exist, of course. That's an axiom.
Like
But
I'm not
speaking
saying
of,
things coming down is an axiom, but it
Okay,
is a self-evident truth. Like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
have to
sure,
prove
sure.
that
You
things come
can.
down. I could just fucking chuck something and it comes down. Like it's
Yeah, no, fair enough.
self-evident.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with that. I just don't think it's an
So
axiom.
I don't have any justification. There's no epistemic reasoning for me to accept a God theory. Because even if whether infinite regress is true or not, I don't know if there is or is not a deeper mechanic in physics that further explains.
Well, physics is gonna have nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like a sufficient explanation
You're talking about first
as to why
cause.
something exists. First cause, and what do you take that to be?
Well, okay,
Like
so when I
temporal,
say you're talking about
atemporal.
first cause, I'm saying what you've brought up is time itself. So I'm skipping all of the bullshit semantics and just going all the way fucking back to the Big Bang Theory. Because there's no point in us talking about,
Well,
yeah,
no,
where did
I'm
I
not
come
talking about
from?
a
Okay, where
regression
did
in
my
time,
parents
don't
come
worry.
from? Where did those parents come from? All the way back. And eventually it leads us all the way to the Big Bang Theory or hot dense state anyways. So I'm just skipping all the semantics and jumping straight to the hot dense state.
Yeah, so here's the reason I brought up infinite regression, because either way, if you say infinite regression is true, then it's going to be the case that like, well, you have to
Oh,
deal
you
with
hold
like
the
an
A
infinite
theory.
regress per se. I do hold to A theory, but I could
Okay, so you're denying infinite regression based on A theory. So you're holding the axioms of A theory.
No. I'm not denying infinite regression because of A theory. I could even say philosophically, there's no issue with a per accidence infinite regression, meaning like an infinite regression in time. The type of infinite regression I'm talking about is
Which I
hierarchical.
don't even agree that
So,
there is an infinite regression of time.
okay, yeah, me too. I don't agree with
Okay,
that.
cool.
I think time is created.
But
But
why don't... Yeah, would you mind explaining what your actual like problem with infinite regression is and why, if that is false, does it equate to therefore God?
Okay, yeah. Well, firstly, I think I just need to like flesh out what I mean by infinite regression, just so it doesn't get confused later on. So there's going to be two types of series. There's a per accident series, so it's a series that happens over time. Each mover is not dependent on the prior one. So, like for example, let's say your father generates you, and then you generate a child. If, obviously, God forbid, your father passes away, you'll still live. You can still operate without him.
Right, but
Okay?
there's
You're not
another
dependent on the
contingency.
antecedent. Perfect, yeah. You're not dependent on the antecedent to operate.
That's
Now,
only
in a
one
per se
contingency, though.
series, yeah. So in a per se series, we're going to say that each mover is at the same time, like right now, dependent on each other for them to be in the state that they are. So like, for
Yes.
example, we're going to say that like if
I
you're
understand
sitting
the
in your chair right
contingencies.
now, yeah, okay, perfect.
Right, the chair is held up
So
by the wheels are held up by, et cetera, et cetera. Yes.
exactly. And we would say that this can't regress infinitely because each mover in the series is fully reliant on the previous one for motion. Now, if all of them rely on a previous one for motion, meaning none of them have this principle for motion, then you simply can't have motion because
So,
there's nothing in the
pause,
series which
though.
allows for
The
it.
default state of the universe is that of motion. It would require an external cause to stop the motion. So I don't even accept
Mm,
that.
wait, that's fine. Just because you say the default state is motion,
Yeah.
that doesn't really matter, because then we would go into
Well, no,
like
but
if
it
you say the
throws that
universe is
argument
the
away
first
because
mover.
then it could
No, not
infinitely
really.
go back in regression of this is holding this is holding that. It
No,
could.
that still doesn't lead to infinite regression. You'd have to
But
say
it
that like,
could.
the universe
It
would be the
could.
first mover.
It could, though. It's a plausibility that it could
No,
consistently
it
do that.
can't.
How can
Because
it
here's
not
the thing.
consistently have a regression continuously of that?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
This
Listen,
mechanic is held by this mechanic is held by this mechanic, and it just goes back. How do you say that's not true? First of all, there's no demonstration of that. There's no demonstration that it is or is not true.
There is. The demonstration is just simply that things move. But listen,
But
just
they're
to
already
explain,
moving,
you're
brother.
saying that
You're
I'm
presupposing
not
that they were put
disagreeing with
into a
you.
movement.
I'm not. Of course, listen. If you throw a ball right now, was that ball put into motion?
By me, and there's evidence and
Perfect.
demonstration
Perfect. I'm
of
agreeing
that.
with you. Wait,
There
I'm not
isn't.
disagreeing with that.
There
I'm
isn't
not
for the
dis- well,
universe, brother.
Hey, calm down. Let me just
I
finish
am
explaining.
calm, but you're not understanding what I'm saying.
You didn't let me
You're
like finish
presupposing
explaining
so
the whole
many
thing.
things.
No, I'm not. I promise you. Listen, with the universe, you said the universe default state is motion. I'm saying that's fine. Now here's the issue. If you say that the universe is the first mover, okay?
No! That's
if it's not the first mover, then it must itself be moved. If it is
False!
itself moved, then it's not the beginning of a procedure, and you
False!
still fall into the issue.
False! This is why I was trying to
just answered
argue.
the other way too. I just answered the other way,
It's
even
all-
if you reject it.
Dude, the default state is motion. Objects in motion stay in motion unless
I'm not
countered by an
disagreeing with you.
external cause. So if the default state
That's
is motion,
physics. I'm
there
not talking about physics.
then the hot end state isn't fucking physics, excuse me?
I'm not talking about physics.
The
That's thing.
universe is
I'm
not
speaking-
physics, excuse me?
The universe is physical, yes, but I'm speaking of it
Yeah,
from a
how do we
metaphysical
describe
perspective.
the universe? With physics. Physics explain
Yeah,
the
you could
whys and
also
hows.
describe it as a
So yes,
substance
this
with
is a
accidents. You
science
could describe
argument.
it as-
And those are
you could also
explained
describe it as, like,
epistemically,
a
and those are
being which is
explained
limited by its
epistemically,
motive.
and those are explained epistemically using science.
Metaphysics is not justified empirically.
No, but
so I
if
don't
you
see
go
it.
to the actual mechanisms, it's one of two things. I don't fucking know, or this is the mechanism scientifically.
down.
No, I'm not going to calm
Listen.
down. You're obnoxiously running in circles already. And you're
No,
also
I'm
not
not.
providing any
First of all,
justification.
you're
You're saying this,
confused.
shh, you're keep on saying that this is only true because of X, Y, and Z. I say, what mechanism proves that? And you run around the same argument again,
Not
which is
running
not an
around the same
explanation.
argument.
You need to provide
It's
the
because
actual
you're not letting me. You're not. Come on, man. Like I'm not actually trying to explain it to you, and you go to physics. I'm not speaking of physical.
because we're
motion.
talking about the
I'm
universe.
Speaking of a hierarchical series. Yes, but you can speak of physical things
Is the
from a
universe
metaphysical view.
Is the universe
You
empirical?
do know that, right? The universe, yeah, it's empirical. Yeah, sure.
Then
It's
fucking
also metaphysical.
demonstrate the science behind your explanations.
I'm not speaking of something that's demonstrated empirically.
Wonderful. Then
Okay?
prove to me how they
speaking-
are justified true. Provide the
Okay, they're
epistemic justification.
Perfect. I got you. Listen, it is going to be the case that if you have an infinite series that goes back infinitely, okay, so it's not a countable infinity, of objects which fully rely on each other to move, meaning they don't have an inner principle for motion, then it is the case that there is nothing in this
You're
series
presupposing
which is
that
a
part.
principle for motion. No, I'm not. It's
Yes, you
literally
are.
the definition of a per se series. It's
No,
an
you are
analytical truth. Okay?
First of all, per se doesn't equate to that is the truth. You have to describe the epistemic justification. You're just saying
giving
that
you- wait, I'm giving you
according,
examples.
pause, you're just saying according to per se, this is true. That does not mean that it is true.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Yes,
I'm
you
saying
literally
according
just
to per
said
se.
according to
No.
per se, this is true.
I'm saying according to what a per se series is, nothing in the series has a principle for motion. I'm not saying that according to the series, like by
Your
definition, it can't
argument
regress infinite.
in and of itself is not epistemically justified. So I don't have a reason to accept it as true. You're saying
What?
in
Okay,
accordance.
listen. Wait, hold up. If you move a stick and then that stick
That was just annoying.
That was obnoxiously circular. Oh, they all know him. Is it seriously the time where all the Phil bros in the Discord come out of the woodworks? Yeah, I'm not letting you up. We're going to wait and just chat with chat for a little while. The rest of these guys are absolutely just the same trolls from Discord and Reddit. They're only accepting one concept, one methodology for truth. They're incapable of justifying it. Philosophy is cool with concepts, and you can try and make sense of things. But to say something is true requires justification external of the argument itself. I'm not only accepting empiricism, but you guys have not provided any reason I should accept another epistemology. I'm not a hard empiricist. I'm a natural empiricist. Logic in and of itself can be true as well. I cannot empirically prove the truth of bachelors. That is logically coherent and sound, that a bachelor cannot be married. I'm not a hard empiricist, but you still have to provide justification. And let's say that I'm only accepting an empirical justification for a claim. Demonstrate why I should accept something phenomenological or something idealistic. You have to provide argument for why I'm wrong. You laughing and just saying, oh my God, you don't understand, does not mean that I am wrong. It doesn't mean that you're wrong either. But the fact that I keep consistently saying, can you please justify this? And your argument is, you're not following, low tier. We don't go anywhere. You're not trying to have an honest argument. You're incapable of accepting the opponent's view. That's not how we philosophically debate. All right, Cal, we'll get you in here. All
Hello?
right, Cal, you're over the age of 18?
Yeah, I'm over the age of 18.
I can hear the smile, dude.
What smile?
You're part of the Discord of the other gentleman.
Oh, I'm actually frowning right now at like the shit class that you just put on against the previous guest. I'm actually not
Wonderful.
smiling. I'm
Do you want to
frowning.
continue his argument then?
No, I want to run an argument, a Bayesian argument.
I don't accept it. I don't know anything about
Why?
them.
It's just an argument that would lower or raise the probability of a proposition.
How do you compare probability for something non-comparable?
What do you mean non-comparable?
God.
Yeah, what do you mean by non-comparable though?
Is God empirical?
Well, we're just comparing the hypothesis that he
Is
exists,
God
so
is God empirical?
what do you even mean by that? Explain.
Is God empirical? It's a yes or no. You know what I mean.
What do you mean by that?
Okay,
I
so you
don't.
don't know philosophy. Cool.
Yo, what's up, man? So I want to talk about what was being said earlier.
Hello. Hello.
Argument?
Yes. I'm going to answer your question whether God is an empirical being or not.
Well, it was not a real question. Obviously, God is not empirical. It was rhetorical.
Yeah, I'm go- Wait.
Do you
I'm
believe
going
God
to
is
prove
empirical?
a being is an empirical thing.
You believe God is empirical?
I'm calling it a being. Being is an empirical
God, the definition of the creator of the universe, yes or no, is empirical.
God is being.
Argument.
Hi, sir.
My bad. I had to disconnect my headphones. What's up, sir?
Sounds a lot better. I know you're part of that group. Just provide the argument.
I mean, it depends. Like, what type of argument do you want?
You're the one that requested up. I'll give you 5 seconds to provide it. 1, 2.
All right, yeah, perfect.
3,
So,
4. Guys, I would like an honest argument. If you want to use Bayesian, let me study it. and then come back on Friday after I've studied it. I'll study that through the rest of this week. I don't know it, so I'm not going to argue it. Your explanation is not something I'm going to take and grant as truth just because you said so. I don't know if you understand it, so I need to go do my own studies. If you want to provide typical arguments or something axiomatic, if you want to provide an actual fucking argument instead of just being a troll, we can go down it. But if I ask you what's your justification and your only response is a chuckle and re-saying the same thing again, I'm just going to kick you. That's not how arguments work. If I am wrong, and I will change my mind. But you have to demonstrate it and justify it. Would you like to provide an actual argument?
Yeah, I was about to say.
Okay.
And then you
Are you
got
over the
me.
age of
That's
18?
mean.
Cool.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Which God do you believe, and what would you like to prove?
I believe in the Christian God, and I would simply want to prove the existence of a first mover.
Again, the exact same argument that everyone else is. So basically, in your Discord, the last few however long, you all have been going over the exact same arguments of circularity with zero justification or empirical evidence at all.
Bro, there's no Discord over here. There's literally no Discord.
I didn't ask you to
There's
turn your camera on.
It's like saying, oh crap, my bad.
So you're all arguing the same argument in a circle. When someone presses you about justification, you say it again instead of justifying it. Would you like to prove to me how the universe had a first cause?
Yes, I actually would.
Is this an empirical claim or a metaphysical claim?
It's a metaphysical claim.
No. The universe is empirical. Correct or wrong?
Well, it could be both actually. Empirical just means it can be shown
Metaphysics
or demonstrated
is
through empiricism.
what it is.
Metaphysical
the
means
substance.
that it's like
what
a substance,
causes it?
accident,
The concepts
it has
for explanation.
being.
Shut up. The concepts for explanations,
bad.
what it could be, what it may not be. These are concepts for metaphysics. Could the universe have existed? Could it have done X, Y, and Z? Is there such thing as essence? Those are metaphysics. The universe is demonstrable. And the cause of the
I'm not
universe,
disagreeing with you.
if there was a cause, would be demonstrable. Correct or wrong?
Yeah, I think it can be demonstrated.
Okay,
It's not
so it is
necessarily
therefore
empirical.
not metaphysical. It is
Wait,
empirical.
what? Do you think that the only type of demonstration is through
For
empiricism?
this claim, yes, because this is
No,
a
I
demonstrable
disagree, and I'll tell you
claim, which
why.
by definition is empirical. Correct
Listen,
or wrong?
I'll tell you why.
No, I asked you a question, pivoting.
No, yeah, I don't think it's
empirical by
necessarily empirical.
nope. Empirical by definition means something is demonstrable and observable and testable. Correct or wrong?
Yes, I think the universe can.
Whether the universe did or did not have a cause or starting point is something that would be observationally able to be demonstrated. Correct or wrong?
It actually can.
Therefore, it is empirical by literal definition. Correct or wrong?
I'm not disagreeing with you. on this.
Wonderful, you agree. Go fuck yourself back into the Discord of your circle jerking douche friends. You trolling scumbags. All right, we are not accepting any more callers until the trolls are gone. So y'all can go fuck with Ian or someone that gives a shit about running in circles. I would like honest interlocutors. And you guys are literally just chuckling and then in chat saying slow boy, getting cooked. Zero justification for any of that. Zero demonstration of my falsehoods, of anything I'm saying being false. So that tells me you're literally just here to get some laughs and clips. I'm here to have honest arguments, not play with 12-year-old toddlers. So if you guys keep on requesting up, you're just going to get blocked for being obnoxious and harassing. I am not in the mood for trolls today. And I'm being nice about it. Okay, cool. We've had God's sword up here before. Let's get you in here, man. How's it going, brother? It's been a minute.
Going fantastic, brother. How's it going with you?
Doing all right, man. You're a Christian, correct?
Yes, sir. Amen.
All
What about
right.
yourself, Dre?
What you got for me, man?
Well, I mean, your argument from an atheist perspective or agnostic perspective, I guess, would be that life is emergent instead of coming from the top down. Am I right or am I wrong?
Life is emergent?
Wait, we're
That's
talking
an
biology
interesting
now?
thing to say.
Are you talking biology? Because if we
Consequence of
are, I'm
unintentional.
gonna.
Well, it was supposed to be according to the atheist perspective, a consequence
Hey,
of
your mic's
unintentional.
a little bit off. Are you
Unintentional.
able to put some headphones in or take your headphones off?
All right, let me see. So life is supposed to be an unintentional
false
creation due to coincidence.
Not always.
False.
It's
Some
so it's
some
intentional.
So pause,
Is life intentional?
pause. Both of you pause. God, first of all, that's a straw man. So ask questions or steel man instead of making lie claims of straw men. That is not evolution at all. You should ask what evolution is first and understand the thing you're arguing.
And it's not abiogenesis either.
So don't straw man our arguments right off the rip. Take our strongest argument and provide that and demonstrate why you disagree with that.
Well, I was actually asking the question. That's why I said correct at first. But what I'm stating is that we can't even get to evolution yet. You have to deal with the concept of abiogenesis.
All right,
which kinda
abiogenesis.
correlates
So
with the Bible.
let's go into that.
Wait, is life intentional or unintentional from your concept?
There's no intention, so I guess unintentional, but not even.
Unintentional
unintentional,
doesn't
there's no-
mean that it's magic or chance. It's not necessarily chance, but it's also a little bit of chance. Like you're straw manning the complexity of it. It's an extremely complex subject that you're trying to put into one sentence,
abiogenesis.
and that just doesn't work to explain what it is.
Abiogenesis just takes.
Well, intentional
lots of
means
time.
that there's a power behind it, God behind it. Unintentional means it's a series of
In your
coincidences.
definitions,
It's a series of natural events, coincidences.
yeah, it's not necessarily
is-
coincidence
yeah.
either. You can call it a
natural
coincidence if
events.
you wish, but that's a straw man of the complexity behind it. You don't understand it, so you're straw manning it, calling it a coincidence to take away the value that it has and make it an easier argument to attack. That is the definition of a straw man. You are being logically facetious right now.
Yeah, but abiogenesis
Just trying to
is
basic-
coincidence. Is
simplify it.
natural.
No, you're not. You're
it's
being
natural
facetious.
processes. Abiogenesis works by natural chemical processes that happen in the world, from amino acids to polypeptide chains, to what a current.
Yeah, Sean, he's being fallacious, but I'm saying he's being facetious on purpose.
Yeah,
I think you guys are getting mad at the argument unnecessarily, and even the chemical properties. You have to show how chemicals become biological.
God, we have evidence of.
I'm hearing
for
your arguments, bro,
abiogenesis.
but you have to show
We
it's
have
by
it.
the
You need to
atheist
slow
argument.
down, Gods. He will get to the point. He's a
guys are
little
getting scared.
Yeah,
God's
we
slow.
have evidence.
He's a little
we have
bit
lots
slow
of
with his
evidence.
explanations, but just let him get his explanation out.
We have evidence for tons for abiogenesis. We have tons of evidence. Like, I mean, Miller-Urey experiment. I mean, it didn't prove abiogenesis, not by a long shot, but it proved that amino acids are abundant in like
good,
early
Sean.
Earth conditions. In early Earth conditions, amino acids, which are the building blocks of
It was the
a lot
process
of
amino
natural.
acids
Was the process
creating
what?
life intentional or unintentional by the atheists or
Unintentional.
agnostics? Unintentional, right?
I guess
Right.
unintentional.
There was no mind of intentionality towards it. Correct. No God made it. Would you like to describe and demonstrate that God did, or would you you like Evan to continue explaining the process instead of you straw manning the fuck out of it for an easy win?
Yeah, because
disagreed with my first statement.
because the Miller
That's
Urey
why I asked
Dude,
the
I'm
question
about
first
to
time,
kick
right?
you if you don't stop being
No, Cody,
fallacious.
Because you're
don't. Cody,
agreeing with me.
don't. Cody,
This is
don't.
sad.
This is sad.
God.
Yes, you are. You are pathetic.
God,
You agreed with me
explain
just
how life
now.
made
You run it from
how
the
God
whole
made
argument.
life. Because
So
I have
if,
evidence for abiogenesis. God.
wait 1 second, brother.
God,
If
God,
life is
God,
unintentional,
God, shut up, God.
You're calling
you
it
said
unintentional is a straw man.
well, there's
Yeah,
no mind
it's-
behind it. It's not a straw man.
Yeah,
no
there's no mind
shit.
behind
There
it,
is no mind behind it. It is natural mechanisms. Shut the fuck up. It is natural mechanisms. That does not
And so-
necessarily mean it is
because
all coincidence.
Unintentional. Yeah.
There are
It's
reasons
but
between
there's
what
natural
happens.
processes.
All of the
I said
chemical
coincidence.
bindings, all of these things happening have natural causations. That does not mean that it coincidentally happened. There were natural reasons and explanations and mechanisms in which these things binded. For instance, RNA from inorganic to organic. There's natural explanations and mechanisms that we can see, demonstrate, and test to know. That is not just by your definition coincidence. You are straw manning the definitions to make our argument and position weaker because you lack understanding of it. And that is why I'm getting pissed off. Because you're straw manning the words and the argument.
Well, if I was straw manning the argument, why did
I didn't ask you if you were. I stated that you were. Now get fucked. Take your horse shit elsewhere.
Yeah. Damn. Well, yeah. Also, amino acids. Miller Urey. They found like I think 10 of the amino acids. Then later, analysis of the glass where analyzed another like many more that they found.
And yes, Earth is
and
flat.
also,
Strawman is the most common logical fallacy.
Yeah.
That's why I say strawman all the time, because he was literally by definition strawmanning. God, you're not coming back up. If you keep requesting, I'm going to block you and you'll never be able to come back up again. All right, Rin. See what you got for us. How's it going, Rin?
What's up? How you doing?
You're over the age of 18, brother?
Yep.
Okay, cool. See, that's a straw man sword. That's not at all what I said. Literally, not even close to word for word what I said.
Bro, can this guy just stop strawmanning the host, bro? Like,
dude, that just told me you're a troll right off the rip. Which God do you
come
believe
on,
in?
wait. I can make a joke.
Which
without
God
being
do
like
you
a
believe
troll.
in?
I'm trying to be like.
Which God
nice.
do you believe in?
Christian God.
Okay, what's your bullshit metaphysical argument that all of your buddies that you fuck in the corner, you're gonna repeat? What's the argument?
Why are you being so rude to me?
Because you're a troll, and I don't have time for trolls. I want to have honest interlocutors, not trolls. I can literally tell you're a troll because you're all of the same age. You all sound the same. You all start the conversation off the same. No, you're not coming up. I already know that you're in that group. I want honest arguments. All right. You're incapable of shutting the fuck up. I'll make you shut the fuck up. Adios, sword. I don't believe anything you say, Rin. You're literally a troll. You literally came from the same Discord as everybody else with the same, literally word for word copy and paste argument. And you're not going to add anything new. And you also don't want to try and come to an understanding at all. You want to force your epistemology onto me instead of demonstrating why it is better and why it is true. You just want to force it and argue. And then whenever I don't agree, laugh, clip it, and post it. I'm not doing that. I would like to have actual in-depth discussions. Dan. I thought you were friendly, Dan. You kicked the last guess. They were... Yeah, I don't agree with his per se argument. And instead of demonstrating it, he just said it again and again and again without explanation. Saying the argument is not justifying the argument. Which tells me, not only are you guys trolling, but you also don't know what you're talking about because you're not able to break it down. So, since you want to keep on running around with the same shit, that your copy and paste fuck buddies are doing, get muted. I would like honest arguments. And now you're trying to request up. You're going to get blocked if you continue doing that, dude. The Discord name is Low Tier Slow Boy Philbros. Pretty fucking much. You're annoying too. Request up or shut up. The only people I'm kicking are the Philbros that are literally coming from the same Discord. How do I know that? Because they've literally admitted it. That's also why they're chuckling, because they know that I know. They have literally admitted it to me. A lot of these guys just make new accounts and do this every day. This isn't something where I'm like, oh my God, they're trolling. There's no way they're real. It's me literally knowing that they are trolling. I hear the same voices. These are the same people that make new accounts and come back every day. No, Serial. They do it to all channels. They do it on theist and atheist channels. It's not specified towards me. They just there's a specific time that streamers go live, and they go after like each individual streamer just for shits and giggles and clips. Like there's no purpose behind it at all. They really out themselves for the inability to accept someone telling them no. Pretty much. People are just annoying. Yeah, I would love to have an actual... We've had one or two actual philosophical discussions today, and they were pretty nice. We got into the depths. We explained why it is or is not justified, what would require justification, and how that could possibly look. And we moved on. That's a nice philosophical discussion. I would love those arguments. I just don't want the Philbro bitch. Not bitch. Bullshit. I don't want the Philbro bullshit. I don't want the circularity. I don't want the same copy and paste argument over and over. Like, if your buddy before you said the literal word for word exact same script literally, and I didn't accept it, you really think I'm going to accept you? Nah. You're literally not adding anything new. There's no point to us talking. Ian probably scares them. Ian scares everybody. Ian scares me. He's too smart. Remember when he ran from KB? KB literally said God isn't metaphysical. All right, I'm going to let Odin out.
If anyone wants to talk about evolution, request up in the chat. I am an evolutionary biology and paleontology student, so I really want to talk about it.
Oh, such a good boy. Sarah, let's get you in here, Sarah.
You Tyrannus cereal. That's what it is.
How's it going, Sarah?
How's it going, bro? How's it going?
Dude, seriously? Can I not sit here in peace and have honest arguments with people? Jesus Christ. They
Damn,
literally
Black
have
Boy.
like 10 plus accounts.
Damn, that's funny.
Right, request up, Sarah. Someone clip this, by the way. Request up.
Well, you have the VOD.
Well, why was I kicked?
Argument.
I just wanted to talk about something you said earlier.
Argument.
Yeah, so I'm gonna build on what the guy earlier said. So
Oh, it's
earlier-
almost as if you're literally part of the same group, if not the same fucking person, literally saying the exact same argument, copy and paste script word for word that they were saying, literally showing me that you're the exact same troll group Discord. That's crazy. All right, since you keep requesting, deuces.
So explain why.
God, I wanted to have an actual fucking argument, dude.
And acted collectively. U.S. military video. We're not talking conspiracy theories.
Explain why alien blobcraft bro. What?
I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Someone who wants to talk about evolution, either they don't understand it or they don't believe in it. I would love to have some people.
Elwood, time did not begin per se. That's a straw man of the Big Bang Theory and expansion of space-time.
Okay, cool. I mean, maybe aliens exist. I personally believe that
The video may not be a conspiracy. Your statement that it is a fucking alien without any demonstrable proof is the conspiracy. How do you know it wasn't a Blackbird? How do you know it wasn't some new technology that they're trying to keep secret from other countries to keep us safe? That's why it's a conspiracy. You're stating that it is absolutely an alien. Well, how about prove it?
Yeah. Because guess what? Governments lie, you know. They do it a lot.
Yeah, Elwood's been like the #1 hater of the YouTube channel since I started the YouTube.
Yeah, time by definition cannot begin. Yeah. Kind of.
Oh, cool. We got someone new. Awesome. This does... Please be someone new. What's up, Matek?
How we doing?
I'm going to have to cut off your video, though, even though you're very handsome. You're beautiful.
Come on, you know.
I know. We've had some bad things happen on camera before, so... Well, I appreciate you hopping in. You're over the age of 18, brother.
Yeah, man.
Okay, which god do you believe in, man?
All, to be fair with you. Let's have a little treasury. Let's have a converse.
Wait, I'm sorry. Which god?
All.
All?
Yes,
You're
indeed.
an
Yes,
omnist.
indeed.
All right.
Okay, cool. What you got for me today?
So basically, essentially, there is no evidence for God. You know what? I must tell you this. What God is. All. One. Truly. Everything is interconnected, and that's what God is. And a lot of times what religious groups really say about God is truly this, that is all, and there's one. It's not about a being in the sky or a being.
Maytek.
Yes, indeed, go for it.
Do you believe like in Spinoza's God? Like that the universe and God are like one?
All is real, my friend. Anything of which you say is true. Did you know that? Be of the realization that anything of which you say is true.
If I say the Earth is flat, the Earth is still
Yes,
won't be
indeed.
flat.
Do you know why? May I tell you why, by any chance? Due to the fact
No.
of treasury. So if you realize that your reality, that your world is due to you and you solely, the one in you, you were born.
Maytek. We are not idealists.
So the thing is not this. It is the way of life.
You do not believe in objective reality, correct? The mind The mind creates reality according to you, correct?
The most common reality.
That was a yes or no question. I'm not letting you preach. I'm not letting you preach. I'm not letting you preach. I am not letting you preach. Shut the fuck up. God damn it.
Of course, I'm listening to you.
Shut the fuck up. You're not listening. You're talking and preaching. Shut the fuck up. Do you believe your mind makes reality independent? There is no justification of objective reality in accordance with your worldview, correct?
There is no two answers to a question.
Oh my god, the most nonsensical response he could have provided.
Like, he's like he's the kind of person that Sun Tzu wrote The Art of War for. People who are just high on philosophy.
You're not able to converse, Maytek. You're just here to preach. Go start your little cult church. We'll find it. We'll shut it down. But all of the people that you fuck over and hurt due to stupidity will help bring them actually back to critical thinking, logic, and objective reality. You weren't talking to me. You were preaching. Now I'm just going to shut you up since you still, even in chat, cannot shut up.
Yeah. Also, enunciate next time.
He just had a what do you call it? Dialect.
Yeah, but like, I'm British and.
Yeah, Maytek, you're not coming up. Request again, Maytek. Oh, request again, Maytek. Oh, request again, Maytek. Oh, request again, Maytek. All right, we're just gonna have to get rid of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he requested like 10 times.
I think he's trying to request.
It sucks so bad. I think that the majority of my actually decent arguments are going to have to be by me talking to philosophy in separate videos and expanding upon certain subjects and concepts, posting the video and then letting chat respond, and then I can respond to chat with another video, because it seems to be that the TikTok and YouTube atmosphere is just purely trolls. It might just be me, because it seems that Justin at least gets some decent callers, but I'm not specifically fighting over the Bible. I'm debating all religions, all gods, all supernatural claims.
I think it's because they like rage baiting you, because you're really easy to rage bait, honestly.
That's valid. That is valid, and it is true by all fucking standards. It sucks.
What about this low tier? What about this standard low tier?
Yeah. Like, it makes sense. They're getting some good clips. You know, half of it is for show, half of it actually is my personality.
Definition of hateism: people who have a strong hate against Christianity and the God of the Bible. Yeah,
Oh,
the
I
God of the
don't.
Bible's fucking disgusting.
I hate the
God of
character,
Bible,
yeah. I hate the character,
Yeah.
absolutely. I don't hate Voldemort. I hate the character of Voldemort for trying to kill a baby over and over, but, like, I don't hate something that doesn't exist. I hate the idea and caricature. A lot of
I
people
think
just
you're talking
generally
about,
lack
like,
critical thinking. Yeah.
Anti-Christianity.
Yeah, I'm not
Not true
necessarily an
Christianity.
anti-theist. You're more of an anti-theist than I am.
I'm more of an anti-theist.
You're
Because I've seen the harm that Christian.
No, I agree with that.
Causes.
But I think you're a lot more you don't delve as deep as I try to in philosophy, which allows you to rely on the grounding of empiricism and science. It's almost like it's what you study, right? Whereas I lean more
Almost
into
like
the ideas, and according with philosophy, I cannot prove things, so I can't be as anti-theist as you.
Yeah, I can prove things beyond reasonable doubt in science.
Do you
And
think
in
Christ
philosophy, you
existed?
can't do that.
I don't deny that Jesus existed, but I also don't grant that he did either.
If Jesus existed, there probably was a guy called Yeshua HaMashiach ben Joseph, because there was probably a couple people at that time called Yeshua HaMashiach ben Joseph, and probably one of them was an apocalyptic preacher. That's what Jesus was. He was Yeshua HaMashiach ben Joseph, and he was an apocalyptic preacher. That's who the historical Jesus would have been. Yeah. I think it's also because, like, the way I was raised, like, my mum, her grandma was, like, very anti-religion, because she'd, like, grown up in a Christian cult.
Ken, we don't immediately just start telling them to shut up. I literally let them get their argument out, and then I'll interject and be like, hey, I don't grant this part of that because of X, Y, and Z. And if they start talking over me, I'll tell them to slow down. If they continue talking over me, I'll tell them to slow down. Third time, I'm going to say, hey, dude, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to explain. And then if they restate the same thing over and over and over, which they always do, yes, I go from, hey, let's slow down to shut the fuck up. I don't just immediately start out attacking people.
Yeah, no,
I agree with you, Tames. Being wrong is bad. I do agree with that. I think it's bad for health. I think it's bad for mental health, and I think it leads people astray and into dangerous situations. It is always circular arguments.
I've always been more anti-religion than a lot of people that I know, because I know that.
Oh, I agree with you, Kent.
Lion, come up and, like, talk to us, because, like, we don't hate the Bible. The Bible has some good teachings. It also is an incorrect historical and scientific book, even though people try to play it off as if it is a historical and scientific book. Or some people do, but, you know. Yeah, like, come up. Like, we're willing to engage. You don't seem like Phil, bro. You seem like someone who's indoctrinated, but... My mother became Christian, and she's unrecognizable now. Can't even have a lot of conversation with her. That's very sad, Mia. Yeah, no, I'm glad I was raised without any religion. The closest I was to religion was when I was like 8, and I went to one of my friend's confirmation. That's the closest I've ever, like, apart from, like, I think there might have been, like, when I was in a Boy Scouts, and there was, like, we met at a church. I think that's the only time I ever spent in church was during Boy Scouts. we don't have any. Well, we don't really have any evidence against Christ's existence. That's why we don't say that he did not exist. We're saying that we're agnostic on it. Confirmation is when I became an atheist. Oh, okay.
Hey there, Mystic. How's it going?
What's up, my man?
Hey, you over the age of 18?
Yes, sir.
All right, which god do you believe in?
I believe in all of them, but mostly Krishna.
Okay. Krishna, the Hindu god, right?
Right.
All right. So you're an omniist, but you worship Krishna?
No, I'm monotheist.
I thought you said that you believe in all of them.
He's a troll.
Yeah. No, I believe that they come in variegated names and variegated forms. The common denominator between all religions is liberating scriptures for all walks of life. So you can see,
Okay.
like, whatever country
So
you're
you
born in
believe
the
in
world,
Krishna.
whatever walk you're doing, there's a source of liberation there for you to become spiritually
Sure.
realized. I don't think that's just some freak
Mystic, slow
arrangement.
down.
I don't think that's some
Mystic.
fake
Sure. I mean,
accident.
so-
I don't
Mystic.
think that's not evidence.
Slow the fuck down and chill out. God damn, I asked you 3 times to slow down. Jesus. I fucking agree. That doesn't make it true just because your life can change due to it.
Yeah.
Slow down. Let's have a conversation. Is it possible that belief in some deity has a phenomenological effect on your life? Yes. Can it give you personal subjective meaning? Yes. Is it real is the question.
Well, thousands of years ago, there was obviously something.
Did I
else
ask
going on.
that?
Yeah, dude, people have been coming up with religions as long as people could come up with religions.
So I don't
And
care.
gods
I care
and
about whether
everything.
it's
So,
true or
like-
not.
Well, if you're a well-traveled person and you've been to sites.
None of this is demonstration. I want you to prove to me why I should accept it as true.
You can't even let me talk.
Because you
You're
fucking
not
tangent.
demonstrating.
Oh my
Yeah, because you're not demonstrating anything. God, you should do a late live tonight.
I don't even want to.
Well, usually at night, we usually get better callers.
The stupidity on repeat.
What is proof, evidence, or justification leading to the probability of a claim being
I agree with you,
true?
Kashka. That was my hardest thing too, was hell concept. I had nightmares about hell.
Again, another reason why I'm so glad I was never raised religious. My brother and I, we talk about like when like whenever an atheist becomes, because I don't think there really has been any atheists that have been in positions of power really, like high positions of power. You think all evidence is proof? No. Didn't say that. I
See,
said that
Here's the issue with evidence.
evidence, yeah.
If you say you have evidence for a god, and your so-called evidence is that you had a dream, that's not evidence for a god. If you actually
It's
follow the
evidence for-
mechanisms and as to what causes dreams and emotions and feelings of dreams, the mechanism and evidence of the dream is going to be something to do with the brain, not of a god. So that is not evidence of a god, even though you call it evidence of a god. So yes, by literal definition, there is no evidence for a god. All the things that people provide evidence for God for always end up being something natural. If I am wrong, prove it. Would sound inductive argument? There is no sound inductive argumentation for theism lead to evidence. Inductive is something like our teacher every Thursday gives us homework, so next Thursday I expect us to have homework. That's not conclusive or certain. Inductive isn't certain. Wholly confused. Oh shit, he's just another dude from the same Discord. Now that we're getting rid of all of the trolls from Discord, if you guys want to have an honest argument or debate, request up. I'd love to have an honest argument. Video game stream incoming. Yeah, if you guys want me to continue streaming on the Twitch, I can. It's a lot more relaxing than getting trolled all day. If there is no God, where did life come from? Here's a cool one. I don't know. Prove God did it. Oak, my number one hater and number one troll.
They'll say the impossibility of the contrary.
No, Oak doesn't study philosophy at all. He actually uses ChatGPT for his arguments. Literally, his page is literally ChatGPT responses for his arguments.
Dude, ChatGPT.
I think Oak, I genuinely think Oak is a 12-year-old. I'm not even saying that to be mean. I think Oak is genuinely a child. BHI, talking points? I'm sorry?
I have no clue what that is.
Hard carry Evan in League. We got fucked up last time. Fucked up my MMR. Your living is the proof? No. I'm sorry, what do you got? Oh, okay, I see. BLH is that. People who seriously do not do any research on these things and say they use those things as reasons to believe something. How stupid do you have to be to do that? It's you know, the more that I study philosophy, the more religious arguments become annoying to me. Like, I try, probably, maybe not necessarily on a daily basis, but I try consistently to prove myself wrong in my philosophical thoughts and with my epistemology. I try to prove myself wrong, but every single concept that I follow through and study leads back to the same conclusions of uncertainty or just straight up lacking any justification at all. So it comes like 100% of the times, arguments for God roll into the literal same 3 or 4 fucking arguments. And they are quite literally impossible to prove, at least in this moment of time. So it gets kind of boring. Like last night, I spent till 3 or 4 a.m. Studying a few different ontological axioms that could make the ontology of supernatural be true in reality. But it's still, the axioms require not even true axioms. You're just granting non-evidence-based evident truths, which aren't axioms. And I said, okay, fuck it. Maybe they could be true. Is there a logical model or framework that could allow them to be true? Cool. Okay, that follows, but the logical validity of it follows as valid, but not sound. Okay, what if I follow another epistemology that allows me to grant the supernatural as true? No, it all falls down to it is valid but unsound, or it is just impossible to prove and untrue. Or even it runs into the wall of it's been debunked. Like, it's fun to study the supernatural, but these arguments for God are just all circular, all of them. It's getting. I need to find something deeper. I need to find something deeper is what I'm trying to get at. What's up, Art?
Hey, hello, how are you doing?
That's a gorgeous voice. Damn.
Says you.
Oh, don't fucking tempt me. You over the age of 18, brother?
Yeah, I'm in my 30s, man.
All right.
I'm washed.
Washed.
as the
You're
kids
still
say.
young, brother. Don't say 30s old. I'm 25.
I
I'm
am
almost
in
there.
the early 30s. I'm in
So,
the early 30s.
which God do you believe in, brother?
You know what? None. I'm actually an atheist, but I have a question.
Sure.
I, like you, think all of the arguments for God are quite silly. And when you get to the bottom of them, all of them, you're left with a nothing burger, or you could just replace their God with another God,
Literally.
or some, anything.
Literally.
Like,
and you know what?
Teleological.
I led that. I don't mean to cut you off, but I studied this last night too. The last actually week, I was like, okay, well, what if they are all true? Contradictory. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
It's not possible.
I mean, it contradicts, like the Christian one, the one we tend to talk about here.
Right.
Contradicts themselves.
Literally.
It's in literature. All the time. But yes, be it the teleological argument, be it the fine tuning, be it like the.
I think
one from
teleological
historic.
is pretty fair though.
I
Valid,
don't know.
not sound.
I'm not with you there. The only one I think has.
What's your definition of teleology?
Hello.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
The fine tuning.
Oh, okay. No, I was thinking teleology, like the purpose instead of the cause.
Oh no, I'm talking more the fine tuning, the complexity.
Got it.
That one.
Yeah. No, I agree with you there. That one's stupid as hell.
Yeah. Wait. What's yours?
Teleology. Instead of looking at the cause and the mechanism of what it is, the purpose is put into the outcome.
Oh, no, I get what you're saying, but like purpose is such a loaded word for me.
I agree. I don't believe there's any inherent purpose at all. I'm 100% nihilistic in that, but I'm an existentialist.
So here's the only one that it's so vague, but it has some merit and credit to me, is the divine sense that humanity all seems to share. That has some weight.
Being what? Interesting.
The fact that every human being, most human beings, with rare exception, have some innate sense of a divine.
I would argue that's
so
ethics, though.
You could, but we all seem to go to divinity, and ethics has only come much later.
That is fair, but when I say ethics, I mean the entire philosophical study of ethics and reasoning.
Sure.
Because it seems to be that the desire, at least the desire bare minimum of some divine essence would be the fear of the unknown, the fear of, oh shit, people are dropping dead. There's got to be an explanation for this. My mind is breaking. I think that's where it came from.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking at first too. I thought it's defense mechanism. It's trying to explain the unknowable, or at least put some sort of suppressant on it.
Right? Yeah.
So, give it a name, but it's just unusual that we all, in different societies, keep creating a god to fill that space.
That's fair. I still argue it's
it
an
doesn't
unknown
have
fear,
to be
though.
a god. Sure. I said,
purpose.
It's very vague. It's very nothing.
So I'm a witch. Okay, I practice witchcraft. I don't follow Wicca or anything, any of the religions. But last night, for instance, my quote unquote ritual was I put a pentacle of white candles, white symbolizing receiving cleansing or peace, and I just wrote on a piece of paper, peace. I have peace. I have peace. And then I just sat there and watched the fire flicker. That is all psychological. So I practiced the witchcraft for my own personal experience of purpose in life, to bring some sort of a meaning to me and have the ritualistic experience because I miss it so much. But I still understand that there's actually no magic in it. It is 100% materialistic.
Yeah, I mean, but you're still doing the actions. You're still performing it. That's great. It's still giving you the benefit of what you
I love abusing the placebo, bro. I love the placebo.
It's amazing. But yeah, I suppose that's the only evidence, if you like, for it. It's just we don't all as a collective species at different times, completely unconnected from each other, never even interacting, all create a god in some way. Why do we do that?
I still argue it's fear of the unknown, though. I don't see why.
Yeah, but why the God mechanism?
Well,
why
what
not
is
anything
your
else?
thought towards that?
I mean, I'm not saying it proves that there's a God. I'm just, maybe there's I don't know. And I'm an atheist, so.
But
it's just interesting.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Again, though, I think that would be answered in the philosophy of ethics.
Yeah.
Because if we never died and there was an objective, and when I say objective, I'm saying reality, actual world, an objective purpose. Like, for instance, if all men, all women gave birth and they had to give birth, that could be purpose of life to be reproduction. I don't think that there would be a what is the purpose of life question, nor would there be a desire for a God if the questions were answered. Because it seems to be that even if you are alone, you're the only human on Earth, there's emptiness you're going to feel. Your brain is going to struggle with it. And that's saying, like, we go into that with the brain that we currently have. There's this emptiness. There's a void that you're going to want filled. And the unknown filling of it would be something supernatural and unexplainable. That way you don't have an answer, but you have a hope for an answer.
Oh, okay. I kind of like what you're saying. So, like, here's what I'm kind of hearing. Yeah, let's say we take a sole human being, like, raise them without anyone. They'll still want the social interaction that's programmed into their brain, like
right. Like if we went back right now with our brains.
Yeah. That's interesting. So, would they call that like sacred connection that they're seeking for as God?
I just feel like it's a. Okay, so for instance, if you put someone today in solitary confinement, their brain breaks. So again, I think it's a survival mechanism to need and create purpose. Because if not, your brain will literally break.
Yes, it will. There's no like coincidence, is there? That like different like peoples, different societies, different tribes, all kind of create gods that suit them perfectly.
It's so cool though
for what they need. It really is.
It's so cool. I was
Desert
watching
people-
Alex O'Connor's interview with
Robert
the Hindu.
Sapolsky?
Yeah.
Oh, the Hindu guy.
Yeah, the Hindu guy. And his explanation, I fell asleep listening to it. I'm like, dude, this is so beautiful. The philosophy that he follows. Oh, I love it. Like, it's so beautiful that we do this.
I wish it was true.
Well, so like the way he was explaining it was from epistemic idealism. So there was justification for all of his explanations, and none of them were necessarily supernatural. They allowed the open interpretation of supernatural, but he himself was not subscribing to the supernatural. It was very beautiful.
Sure.
Can we get a link
Sure.
to
Have you heard of Robert Sapolsky?
No, I have not. Sapolsky.
Yeah, he also was on Alex O'Connor's podcast recently.
Okay.
Maybe like within the last year. And he's got some lectures up on YouTube. They're really good. And he talks about how like people who have a desert tribe and herd, they create gods that are like vengeance based because they want other people
Oh,
to
I
not
have
steal
watched
their
this guy.
cattle. Yeah, he's great. So it's just very interesting how different people of different areas in the world, different societies and cultures create the gods that fit them perfectly for the niche.
It's so cool that the beliefs of ontologies change. Like here in the West, we're so big on like peace but individualism.
Yes.
So we make up gods that subscribe to that to make it a reality.
Yes.
An objective reality. And then someone over there, let's look at like a cannibalistic tribe. And I know that there's at least one tribe in Africa currently still like that. Like they make their own, it's subjective obviously, but they make their own definition of objective reality and what is real.
Oh yeah.
And then they mold their philosophies around that, which is really interesting to me. None of it true,
yeah, I mean,
but
there are different societies that like don't even have like concepts of directions the way that we do or time.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Like we have one specific calendar, for instance, out of like what, 3 or 4 different types of calendars. Like I know that the Jews believe it's the year 3000 or something. China goes off of the dragon calendar. Is that what it is? I might be wrong on that.
Korea has I think North Korea has a couple. I think South
I'm
Korea
not
also.
surprised by that at all.
No, I think Korea in general have different like different things.
It's super cool. They make their own realities. They're not objective,
anyway,
but
I gotta head out now. I followed you. You're a great guy.
I appreciate
And,
that conversation.
Yeah.
I appreciate the
Enjoyed it,
hell
man.
out of that,
Have a
man.
good one.
Appreciate you. You have a good one too.
Thanks.
Oh
Bye.
God. See, these actual philosophical discussions are fun. Now, if we were to like go into the foundation of why, and go in depth on it, that would be even more fun. Why do we believe this way? And what dictates objective reality? Why is reality objective, if it is at all? And what causes it to be this way, if at all? It's so cool. It's so fun to think about those questions. Like, unanswered metaphysics are so fun to make up the concepts and see if they actually align with what is true. And the possibility and potential for all the things that could be is absolutely astonishingly beautiful. Like, multiverse theories are so awesome to think about. I fucking hate quantum immortality. The idea of it is beautiful and shitty at the same time, and it's contradictory, but it's still cool. All you have to do is ignore a troll, and that's it, pretty much. I don't know that trolls ever think that someone will change their mind. I don't think they're here to change minds, because we've had a couple of the Discord guys that like admit they're in the Discord group, and they're like, I'm just here to get clips. And I'm like, okay, I would like to have an actual discussion. And they agree, but then they say the same thing over and over. I don't think they genuinely have any philosophical desire. Reality is objective, but all our involvement is subjective because we can only see reality through. 100%. And that's where falling into like fallibilism or idealism or dualism can come into play. Like, there is an objective reality of material, but then there's also something extra. Or that all of reality, these trees are not actually existing separate of our mind. We are observing that the bark, the material, the atoms, etc., and it is quote unquote created by our own mind. The only problem with those things is it's just objectively not true, and you can't demonstrate it at all. It's just a concept made up in the imagination. It goes back to the brain in a vat argument. Like, first of all, the burden of proof is required. So there's no justification to believe that unless it's demonstrable. If all the arguments for God are not good, I'd have to make one. If I have to, though, how should the argument be? I think maybe the closest to being potentially sound would be Hinduism. Just the way that they look at their gods, first of all, but also like, you would have to, if you made something like an Abrahamic God argument, you would have to somehow demonstrate the possibility and truthfulness of having causal relation without time, which would require you to go into relativity and other time arguments and work them in a way that is still physics truth, mathematically plausible, and allowing cause and effect without time. I don't know if that exists or even could be true. To what I know, that is literally impossible, because cause is a part of time and effect a future point of time. So I don't think it'd be possible unless you make up a new framework for how time works. We don't create the tree with our mind. We find the tree with our mind. Yeah, see, the tree exists regardless of whether you're observing it or not, because when you're not observing that tree, it's still there. The biggest issue with the creator is the creation of time. Right. That's a massive hole that they are not able to. What is Flora Falls? What is that? Sent 100 for 2 joules? What is this? I'm confused. What is that? Sent 100 what? I honestly have no idea what that is, Flora.
God loves his gaping holes.
Something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's all filling gaps of knowledge with possibly, but most likely untrue statements. It's just fear. It's all based in fear of the unknown, fear of afterlife, fear of death. That's all it is. All of it falls into I am scared of not knowing and not having purpose, so I have to create purpose for my own life. And then that creates biases and cognitive dissonance when someone disagrees, and you're literally incapable, at least in that point in time, of changing your mind and renewing to some new framework of thought. Cosmic binky. Quite literally, yeah. And it's sad. I think it's beautiful that we've made it. And it makes life a little bit more, what's the word, survivable? But doesn't mean it's true. All the evidence ever has to be is convincing. All the evidence ever has to be is convincing. If the universe was finely tuned, there should be evidence of a tuner. Yes, I agree with that. That's why I don't even like the like when they say, don't you agree that physics are tuned? I don't grant that, because saying it to be tuned is implying that there is a creator or tuner. Now, are there constants? Yes. That doesn't mean they were made to be that way. It's our descriptions of what is. We are describing, for instance, gravity is a tune, right? Per se. The theory of gravity explains how and why it works. So it's not a question of if it was different. We know that if it was different, we would all cease to be because of, but that's because we know how it works and why it works, and nothing made it to work that way. It's a natural law of reality. It's the law of gravity is that this happens. The theory of gravity is why it happens. Religion was an early man's attempt at explaining the world when they didn't know any science. I agree with that too. We even see statistically, the more educated you become, the less religious you are. Thanks for waking people up. Yeah, better. Like, I have no hatred towards religion, but if you want to get me to believe in it because I'm going to go to hell if I don't, you got a lot to prove there. You're going to have to demonstrate that you're right, demonstrate that these things are true, and then why I should follow them. Like, let's say God is real and hell does exist. That doesn't mean I should follow him. That's coercion. I'm not going to follow him just because he has a gun to my head. Are you kidding me? Hell no. That's not a good, loving person. All right, Odin wants inside, so I'm going to go grab him.
We have Nelzonius. I'm gonna get you in. Okay, Nelzonius. Are you over the age of 18?
Yeah, man, I'm 37. How's it going?
All right. What god do you believe in?
Pardon?
What god do you believe in?
I believe there's an almighty. I don't stem to one religion. I've looked through the Tibetan Book of the Dead. I've looked through Hinduism. I've looked through various religions, to be honest.
All right. So just a general deist, like God created the universe and then, went off or whatever.
Basically, if I'm quite honest, I didn't really take on board much of like there is an almighty being that's created everything until I had a crazy experience last summer. If I'm honest, and the experience I had was it's completely undeniable. If anyone else had the same experience, they'd say the same thing. But I'll wait for Thingy to get back and then I'll talk about it.
We don't really take personal anecdote as evidence because it can be
Yeah.
explained because it's almost always explained by natural things. So
Yeah. So what if you don't take like personal kind of things as a reason for believing? Before this, I wasn't really a believer much myself. I was just like kind of researching different religions and why people were religious, etc., etc. But me and my kids were rehoused due to domestic abuse a couple of years ago. And when that happened, I kind of took on prayer. And it was kind of because I need like the strength of not just myself, but I need the strength of an almighty being to help me through, sort of thing. And so over the process of like 2 years, I was kind of like repenting and praying, not every single day. I haven't gone to church. I just read the Bible every now and again. And there was one thing that happened that really kind of made me break down. And in prayer, I was kind of like crying in prayer, and I asked, not screamed out, but I really did. Like there was heart in that, and I heard what I asked through prayer is I said, if there is one thing that you can show me, one thing that gives me some sort of meaning that you are listening and that Jesus walked the earth, you have my full undoubted faith. And when I said that, literally seconds later, I heard, like, it was kind of like my own voice, but it wasn't my voice. I heard, follow my directions tonight on your journey, right? And every night in the summer, I was driving my kids to sleep because of obviously the long days. And I followed the same route every night. And I got halfway around the route this time. And then I heard the voice again. And it said, turn left, follow the road. So I turned left, followed this road, carried on. Then I heard turn right. So I turned right. And now I got left again, turned left. And as I was down these country roads, I didn't know where it was at this point. I heard, look at the trees, look to the tip of the trees. I looked to the tip of the trees, 30-foot evergreens. There was a spire, a cathedral, there was a chapel. There was a chapel, right? And this is out in the country, and there was nothing else there, and this has been disused for 20 years, right? And when you think about what I asked for, I went into the chapel, and I went up on the stand, and on the stand there was a Bible that was open. And I read the verse, and the verse that it was open on was all about Jesus Christ walking the earth, all about to have seen the Father is to have seen him, and to believe it on nothing more than these works alone. Now, I asked for something, and I was spoken to. I've never been to that chapel before, and my children, their date of births are 13th and 31. And the first ever recorded rector at that chapel was in 1331. So there's lots of things that lined up through that, and I've just stuck to my promise.
So here's the thing. As a PK, a preacher's kid, and we had a separate physical church, we left the door unlocked, and I purposefully would put a Bible in there with open specific verses for wandering people to find. So I don't believe that was mystical at all. It's a building, congratulations. A building that happened to be a church, congratulations, and it happened to have a Bible in there. As someone that used to just hide Bibles with open verses, I couldn't care less. That's not mystical. Second of all, voices being heard in a time of need and deep desire of escape. Yeah, that's how the brain works. It's called auditory hallucination.
So you're going to say it's your conscience?
100% I'm going to say that because we know it to be true through fMRI machines and neurology.
If I carry it on, I'd like you to see you debunk this. So I'd like to see you debunk it.
It's not my job to debunk it, brother.
No. I went back there, right? We went back there because my son wanted to go back there. Now, on the way there, I heard that I would be met at the door, right? Now, this thing's really old. The door's really big. It's really wooden. So we're walking up to the chapel. You're walking up to the chapel, and the door is shut. And then my son run back behind us because he saw a foxglove. It was white, loads of bees around it. So he wanted to look at the flower. So we turned around with our backs to the door, walked over to the flower. And then my son stood up, turned around and froze and said, "Dad, you were right. Who was that who opened that door?" And then we all felt a crazy warmth around us. And considering what my kids have gone through, they were happy to walk through that door, not knowing if there was anyone on the other side.
Okay, hinges on an old building. Congratulations.
It's a big oak door.
Congratulations. Physics don't give a fuck about the size. I'm not saying this is true. I'm saying there's I'm saying there's other options.
Yeah.
Are you taking a bath?
Yeah, the iPad's on the side.
So, first of all, you don't know that your kid didn't do it. Second of all, you don't know that the wind didn't do it. Third of all, you don't know.
Shh. That doesn't make sense, though. I'm going to debunk you.
No, I'm not fucking debunking you. I'm saying other natural explanations. No, incorrect. Your job is to prove that it is true and no other options viable.
Right. So
it is possible. Shh, I wasn't fucking done. You gave like 6 claims. If I respond to one claim and you start talking immediately, you're just going to gish gallop. So again, your kid could have walked away. You may not have a perfect memory because that happens too in supernatural experiences, high intense situations. You're also going through a lot of stress. You don't know, and I don't know. I cannot prove that you're watching your child 100% of the time, and your memory could be possibly false. Also, the hinges could have just allowed it to open with a nice vent, a nice gust of wind. Maybe it was poorly circulated. There's so many possibilities. Being your kid doing it, someone else doing it, someone already being there and doing it just to fuck with you. Like, there's so many possibilities. This is how science works, dude. I know you're laughing because you have cognitive dissonance. You also have confirmation bias, but if we want this to be true, we have to look at all the other possible explanations and prove those to be untrue. And then, when yours is the only possible explanation, and then we demonstrably prove that it is the only thing that could have happened, and then show the mechanism in which, then we can say it's true. But right now, what you have is a fuck ton of hearsay. Untestable things, possibly false memory. Like, there's so many things wrong here that are undemonstrable. You also, according to my chat, came in here and said you're not going to Evan said we don't accept personal experience, and then you immediately give personal experience. This is why we don't accept personal experience. There's no demonstration, there's no testing, there's no falsifiability. It is all 100% up to whether you are trustworthy and credible or not, and whether you tested everything or not. And even with that being said, there's no peer review to prove that that is true either. How do I know that you're not just some Ghostbuster, right? How do I know that this isn't some TV show? Like, there's so many things wrong here that I cannot just trust based on magic and feelings.
That's fair enough. You don't even know me, so I get it.
Right. So I can't, first of all, take your word. Second of all, I can't trust your memory. I can't trust my own memory, dude.
I know my kids, after everything, they literally don't leave my hand.
And kids have amazing imagination and don't think that they're lying when they are lying sometimes. There's been times where I've done things because I want someone to believe something. I overhear them saying this is crazy, and then I do something that would seem crazy, and then they're like, oh my God, did you do this? No, of course not. I lied! I'm a kid with imagination!
Yeah, that's fair enough. I get your point.
It's a beautiful story. And what I hear from the overall of the story is you had a struggling time and your brain needed an escape, so it made one.
How did I find the chapel? That don't make sense.
It existed and you were driving. Congratulations. Also, your subconscious is incredibly fucking powerful. If you've lived here for a long time, or even from a distance, you see the top of the chapel, your brain subconsciously stores that. You're in a time of need, and your brain goes, oh shit, there's a chapel. I'm questioning this. And then goes, go this way, go this way, go this way. Your subconscious led you there, not God. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm saying that it's not justifiably true.
Yeah, that's fair enough. much more to it, but I don't think there's any point.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same
It's
response
just
from
me
me.
telling you a story and then you being like, well, could be, but couldn't be.
It could be.
Yeah, I get you.
It could be. That's the problem with testimony, brother.
One day we'll all know, man. One day we'll all know.
According to objective reality, no. You're going to have a flood of DMT into your brain as you're passing away. You're going to start hallucinating incredibly, see your Jesus, walk into the light, and then your consciousness is going to be shut off, and your last memory is of seeing Jesus. That is what's going to happen. And how do I know that? Fucking science. We have tested it.
Yeah, DMT releases in your brain when you're having extremely intense dreams.
Yeah, as your brain is dying, you hallucinate like a motherfucker. And all people of all religions see their specific stories happening.
Yeah, DMT is crazy.
If NDE experience was proof of an afterlife, all afterlives, all religions would therefore be true, which is a contradiction because even in accordance with the Bible, God is the one and only true God, and there cannot be another God. And if he is the one and only God, and those gods, like, you see what I'm saying? Those two stories cannot be true at the same time. It's a contradiction. So it's literally not proof of shit.
Yeah, this is literally why I read into like the Tibetan Book of the Dead and looked into all different religions to see why, basically. Just
Yeah, the why does matter. Like, I'm not denying that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a witch. I practice witchcraft for my why, my purpose in life, because I miss ritualistic things from my childhood of being so deeply
Yeah.
indoctrinated that I made it. But I also understand the objective reality that there is no such thing as magic.
Yeah, I see what you mean. You can't replace one routine with another. With your
Absolutely, yeah. But I admit it.
Yeah.
Like, if I were to go back to religion right now, I would admit, like, I have a Bible right here. I could start reading this motherfucker and confirmation bias my way into believing it, but I would still be able to say, this is my belief subjectively, but objective reality, no.
That's cool, man.
But I appreciate your story, and I'm so glad you found your out and that you found purpose, because that's a big deal, but I just can't accept it as truth, you know?
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I get where you're coming from. I appreciate your time, man. Thanks for speaking to me.
I appreciate you, brother. You have yourself a good day and a good bath.
Yeah, thanks, man. Take
Deuces.
care.
Oh, hi, Ravi.
I thought that was going to go downhill, but he was extremely fucking respectful. W's to that guest. That was a damn good one.
Yeah, it was nice.
That was a good one. That'll get uploaded. That was what, a 20-minute conversation, give or take? You know, that's another problem with the way that I hold this platform, is we hold people so accountable
Jody.
that the arguments are always like 5 minutes.
He only wants you to check the Discord for a second.
Okay. Oh, that's funny as fuck. Okay, let's see what you have for me. Let me check. Yeah, isn't that funny as fuck? Hey, by the way, W's to D20 for becoming a unicorn cult member. Hell yeah, welcome to the family of magical shitting unicorns.
Oh, that's funny as hell. Oh, that's funny.
I'm trying to look. I'm not seeing an answer. Ta-da. Yo, what's up, Bravas?
Yeah, you should come up.
You sexy bastard.
Wow.
Yeah, you've been busy as fuck. Oh, yes. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, Ravis was requesting. Where can I find the Discord? Can anyone get a link to join in real quick on the TikTok? How's it going, peoples? Going good, Raven. How you doing, Raven? Who's hot? Oh,
Yeah,
man.
you're here.
Thank you, Daddy. Dude, my Jeep. So I've already told you guys that I went out to check on my Jeep, and I opened the hood, and there's just a fucking family of rats living in there. So it's going to cost me like $500 right now to fix the Jeep. But if the wiring is fucked, $700-800. I got it. I'll put the link in chat. It's all good.
Oh, DJ did it.
DJ did it? Awesome. Fucking W legend. I thought, that's a joke, right? What's a joke? I'm glad he's trying. Huh? Keep it down. The kids are watching. What? Did Cody wait specifically for me to show up right now just so he could strip down? Absolutely. If you work on it yourself, it's much cheaper. Yeah, I have a family friend who was going to fix it up. What Jeep, what year? It's a 04 Wrangler TJ. I know. An expensive piece of shit. I went shopping for some electrics, but no, it's just a 4. Dude, I don't care enough about cars anymore to know or care about the engine size. I just don't care. I know that it's not wide base enough to where 70 on the highway makes it feel like a fucking roller coaster that was poorly built to kill people. Super easy to work on. Yeah, that's why he offered us such a discount, because getting it checked at an actual auto shop was like thousands. It's also an automatic. Ugh. I know. I don't worship anything too much work. Also, do you all like trains?
You talking trains?
We got one Aussie here that does.
I'm not Aussie.
Oh my god. Artemis is a legend at making fucking memes. I love it. Those are so funny. It's so true too. Like, Evan, you're such a sweetie patootie, and I'm such a fucking asshole. It's so true.
It's the memes are very funny.
It's amazing. Welcome in, Matt and Jenny. Oh, thank you, Bun, for calling that out. Absolute legend. Appreciate you.
No, you're just a gibberish generator. Huh? Alex, I don't think I've ever seen you talk, ever.
Oh, it's Alex K. He's the gentleman that debates about consciousness being external. He's a dualist, yeah.
That guy.
Yeah,
That guy.
Alex, I don't hate the idea, but there's no epistemic justification for it. That's the problem. It's you have to provide mechanism, and we already have neuroscience that explains consciousness to many degrees. So it's you believing without mechanism or epistemic value that the brain is a receiver of external consciousness just isn't, it's just not justifiable to be considered as true. This is the gibberish generation I was speaking of. What, using actual philosophical terminology? Here, let me break it down in layman's terms. You say consciousness derives external of the brain. No evidence justifies that. The way that you justify it, seemingly, is by idealistic philosophies, right? I'm extremely confused, starting with thinking that I am a dualist. Idealist, dualist, it seems to be that way because you believe there's a separation of mind and material, right? I don't see, I'm not okay, I'm pretty empirical. I wouldn't consider myself a hard materialist, but there's still no justification of a separation of mind and consciousness, or brain and consciousness. Like even that, like swapping out the definition of brain and mind for me is fallacious because I can redefine a shoelace as God. It doesn't make it real. Not gonna lie, being a physicalist is so easy. It is, genuinely. I don't accept and subscribe to it. You say gibberish as if that's a winning defeater argument, Alex. You're not providing any counter argument at all. You're just making a claim.
I find that when you're talking to someone who has no means of justifying anything you're saying because they just don't follow, they're just going to keep saying gibberish.
Well, so Alex has some decent arguments for consciousness being like more of like a receiver. Okay, but it's all based on non-verified, uncertain data and experiments that aren't justified. That's the problem with it. Like, you have to provide a mechanism to say that it is true. Like, you're arguing that it is true. Prove it to me, which you still haven't. When you provide proof, you provide questions. But I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying there's no reason for me to justify and grant your position as true. I would love there to be a separation of brain and consciousness. That'd be fucking awesome. It would give me some sort of starting justification to believe that the supernatural is real, for instance. But I don't have that, and I cannot find it, and it does not seem to exist. So the person that is making the claim that it does exist is the one with the burden to prove it to me, because you're the one making the positive claim that it is real.
Honestly, though, gibberish generator goes hard as fuck. Like, I'll be real
Amen.
with you. Like, I forgot which YouTuber it is, but like, some moron called him a Google debunker, and he picked it up as like the name of the channel. So like, gibberish generator is pretty good. Gibberish generator is pretty hard.
There's okay. How Ravis, have you ever studied neurology?
Loosely. Sorry, I'm
Loosely.
making that for me.
Yeah, no, you're good. So Alex's argument is the irreducibility of consciousness to physical states is evidence that raises the probability of the proposition consciousness is fundamental. My thoughts to that are, A, we do have many physical mechanisms in which consciousness is an emergent property of the brain. B, there's no mechanism showing that the brain is a receiver of consciousness. You're just claiming that. And the probability, no. You have to demonstrate something to compare it to. Because this is science. You're making scientific claims that the empirical brain is receiving empirical information. You can claim it's metaphysical, but the metaphysics of it would be what is consciousness. The mechanism would be an empirical proven through science mechanism.
So personally, don't have much fucks to give if your only justification is raising the probability. Like, if the only
Agreed.
justification you can provide for me is raised probability, I'm going to say that your argument probably isn't justified to begin with, because
Yeah.
if you're only worried about probability raising, you have to demonstrate that, like, I should care about that.
I agree with that too. Consciousness isn't my main argument. Like, it'd be really cool if consciousness is some sort of a receiver from the brain. That'd be really cool. But it doesn't prove God. It doesn't disprove God. It doesn't prove supernatural. It doesn't prove ghosts or spirits or anything like that. Show me the mechanism. I've told you the mechanism, brother. So, for instance, the qualia feel, quote unquote, the physical, what's it called? The phenomenology of red is going to be, it feels like this color. And that's a subjective first-person experience, but it's explained by mechanism through neurons and refractions of light in the cornea of the brain, sending information to the brain to process as this is this shade of color. That is a mechanism, and I've shown you this before, and your only argument is nuh-uh. but you have to provide a counter argument and as to why I'm actually wrong and prove it with justification. You don't have any epistemic justification. You have, this doesn't make sense to me, therefore consciousness. So I'm not saying you're absolutely wrong, Alex. I'm saying you have no reason, you have not given me any justification to accept it as true. Gibberish. You can say it over and over, but it doesn't make you any more right.
I will.
You're the one with the argument.
I mean, the thing is that it goes hard the first time you say it. It kind of loses its value as a useful thing to say if you aren't actually attempting to wrestle with the arguments being
Alex,
presented to you.
I've provided one argument. You said you didn't accept my source. I said, what other sources would you like? And you just continued laughing at me for providing the source that I did. I mean, I could provide a citation that explains the mechanism of color for sure. Give me the DOI right now. Okay.
Also, in case anyone's wondering why I haven't been around a lot, I've made the foolish decision to do some more college while also working. So,
What are you planning? What are you studying?
I'm kind of going off topic a little bit, off my normal topic, because
all right, so I've got here a citation from Neuroimage. It was published in 2019, volume 191. The abstract here is going to be showing brain activity in posterior midline cortex. I told you that, which modulates color preference. Effects occurred when viewing colors but not actively judging color preference. Preference did not relate to any activity in naming object color or selective regions. The PMC processes subjective value judgments even for basic visual features. So this is a citation that you can go read. It's by Chris Racy, Anna Franklin, Chris M. Bird. It's called Neuroimage, May 2019. Let's go look at another one. That's only cited by 28. There's 141 citation for another one by A. Franklin. A. Franklin also posted categorical encoding of color in the brain. There's the brain that encode color categorically have not yet been reliably identified. Here we use functional MRI adaptation to identify neuronal populations that represent color categories, irrespective of metric differences in color, which is also what I told you, the refractions of light that process in the brain. Two colors were successfully presented within a block of trials. The two colors were either from the same or different categories, blue 1, blue 2, blue 1, green 1, and the size of the huge difference was varied. Participants performed a target detection task unrelated. So there's also that one. That's a citation by, again, Anna Franklin, Aidan Horner, Samuel Behrens, and Chris Bird again. That citation is posted, categorical encoding of color in the brain, March 3rd, 2014. Like there are citations that provide mechanisms of what causes color to be color in the brain. Phenomenological explanations are your first person feeling of it, but science then provides the explanation of why we feel it. So you're doing massive leaps in judgment.
Sorry, my kid's having a freak out about dinosaur. No, but yeah, like the thing I'm studying, by the way, is astrobiology. I want to get into some more origins of life research.
Ooh, nice.
Oh, really?
That's very interesting. Are you
Or
like,
biogenesis or A?
So I'm going to be aiming. So I'm starting with astrobiology, and then
Okay.
sorry, my seems so loud.
You're good.
And I'm going to see where I branch from there. What feels the most natural to go into field wise.
Are you wanting another degree?
Yeah. I want to. So I have my 2 masters. I have
Right.
my doctorate. I'm thinking about going for another master and maybe into a doctorate if I find an opening that I like. But I don't know.
Fair enough. Are you going back to Princeton?
No.
You said fuck that.
I won't see you again. You were
That's a
right about the
shame,
food,
dude.
though. The food is awful.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely right. But yeah, no, the food is not what everyone says it is.
No. Like I was like, oh, it can't be as bad as Robert said it was. It's worse. It's much
That's
worse.
funny. Hey, Carrie, welcome to the super fans. Thank you for subscribing to that.
I can't. I will have to look at a map to tell you exactly where it is. But there's a diner that is like, I want to say it's north of campus.
All right.
And that is where I got literally all of my food when I was going there because I could not stand anything that was on campus.
Yeah, if you can like send me the name of it, cause I'll be appreciative, cause I go between my cousin's house and campus, so I really can't like go back, cause it takes like half an hour to go to my cousin's house. So, when if I'm like have lectures all day and have like only like half an hour for
Alex,
lunch.
if I talked over you on your own platform and you didn't use the mute button, you're dumb.
Yeah, if
Stop
if you
self-promoting.
can send me the name of it, cause like some days I have like lecture all day, or like just classes all day in
Alex,
general.
all you have to do is demonstrate the mechanism that proves your theory correct. That's all you have to do. But instead, you keep on saying, "Come debate me on my channel." Views. Like that's all you're doing. You're speaking gibberish. You're wrong. Just prove your fucking claim. Just prove it. You're arguing nonsense. You're running in circles. This is true because I say it's true. You're incapable of explaining other mechanisms, therefore I'm true. False. That's not how this works. You're the one with the burden. Dude, you're coping right now. I literally just read you 2 studies. And one of the studies did show mechanism, dipshit. You should go look them up. I told you the names, I told you the date, and the title of the study. I gave you 2 of them. I'm intellectually incapable of even understanding. Yet, I provided you citations backing what I say, and your only argument is nuh-uh. But I'm intellectually incapable. Sure.
Like, Alex, I would love to like understand your point better, but the problem is that no, I know Cody and Evan here, right? I've talked to them before. I've had debates with them before. We've sometimes disagreed.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
And at the end
You
of the
fucking
day,
idiot. No, I'm kidding.
No, exactly right. I'm a fucking idiot. I've tricked so many people into believing that I'm smarter than what I actually am. I'm a fucking
It's
idiot.
not like your doctorate has anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Alex. You are not providing anything of value other than repeatedly saying "nuh-uh" and fucking hitting us with the gibberish generator. You
Exact
sound
same
like
as a Phil bro from Discord. Low tier.
Backshots. Rhetorical backshots.
You sound like Ken Ham, and that is not that feels like it should be an insult to Ken Ham, and I don't like that guy.
Yeah, I
Like,
hate him. He's a wife abuser.
To be fair, there are lots of dumb doctors. Ravis provides explanations and mechanisms, though. That's why I like Ravis.
But I'm also very, very incredibly dumb. So, like, don't let that fool you too much. Most of my intelligence comes from the fact that I have this weird
Alex,
ability to memorize things.
We're not being confident in anything. First of all, we're admitting that we could be wrong. Second of all, you're the one with a positive claim. We're not saying you're wrong. We're saying you're not true.
Yeah. I in fact often say I am probably...
Yeah, I don't care about having a formal debate about consciousness right now. This is about God. Consciousness doesn't prove God. So I have zero care to have an argument with you at all. Just provide me a mechanism that proves consciousness is external of the brain, and we're done. That is not gibberish. I'm literally using an epistemically sound justification of withholding judgment. If you understood any philosophy, you would understand that I'm being epistemically correct.
I'll put it to you. I'll offer this, Alex. I happen to be off this Friday. I will have most of Friday to myself. And so here's what I will offer you. I'm going to follow you right now. I will happily come talk to you on whatever platform you want to talk on. But if you use the word gibberish once, I leave. Because I don't think you're capable of using your brain for more than just saying gibberish generator.
Dude, he even told all of his, he told a lie to his 30,000+ followers about there was a gentleman that was born and in his childhood had a brain issue where his brain compressed and shrunk, and then the rest of the space was filled with some sort of brain fluid, and they were surprised that he was able to like think coherently and stuff like that due to the size of his brain having shrunk. And he told his audience that he lived with 90% of his brain and 10% of it was consciousness, which debunked my argument that consciousness is an emergent property of the brain, of which A wasn't untrue, his definition of said study, and then also doesn't prove me wrong. You're the one, Alex, with a positive claim. I'm just saying you have not provided justification for me to accept it. I'm not saying you're wrong. It'd be awesome if you were correct, Alex. Do I need to say it again? It would be awesome if you were correct, Alex. I would love to believe you. I want that to be true. But what I want and what is are two different things. Don't worry, Cody. He'll edit this part out of his recording. Oh, yeah. Let me say it again, Alex. I want you to be correct, but you have refused to provide the mechanism justifying the truth to your claim. Until the day you prove that you are correct with evidence justifying it beyond a reasonable doubt, I'm not accepting it. Yeah, no, I don't want to be on your platform, Alex. This isn't a big deal to me. It's only a big deal to you. I don't care. Just provide, literally in chat, citation from X, Y, and Z date by X, Y, and Z doctors, peer-reviewed by X, Y, and Z, demonstrates the mechanism that I'm talking about. There you go. That's all you have to do. You're the only one with the positive claim here. You are the one with the burden to prove that you are correct. I'm not saying you're false. I'm saying it's not true because it doesn't meet the burden of proof. I provided you 2 citations, Alex. It's on VOD. I literally read the citations, the titles of the citations, the doctors that helped write it, and the abstract of the citations. Go look them up. I have provided you 2 citations. You have provided 0 for your claim. You're the one with the claim. You're the one that has to prove it. Let's say I know nothing. Let's say neuroscience doesn't have an answer. You're still the one with the claim. You're still the one with the burden to prove it. Best of luck. Yeah, it does. You're talking about phenomenology, the feeling of red. We know what red is and what causes red to be red in our brain. The mechanism is due to light refractions in the cornea of the brain. There you go. It is quite fucking simple. The phenomenology is our experience. The scientific explanation is why it happens. You're acting like these are 2 like different truths. No, phenomenology is what we experience. Science explains why and how we experience.
So I wouldn't say that neuroscience has solved the consciousness. I just don't think consciousness is a hard problem.
Exactly. I don't think that it is a hard problem.
I think that it's a problem in which we haven't solved, but I don't think it deserves a title of a hard problem of consciousness because it's, I mean,
with that being said as well, me and Ravis disagree. It's okay to have a disagreement, but Ravis, if I asked, would provide an explanation as to why he disagrees. All you're saying is, low tier, come join my call. Low tier, gibberish, come join my call. You're wrong. I'm not going to explain why you're wrong, but you're wrong. You're the one with the claim, Alex.
Oh.
Alex, pop quiz. What's your mechanism? All right, it is 5 p.m. I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now. Alex has no fucking argument, nor any mechanism that he would like to provide evidence for. He doesn't want to demonstrate his argument as all.
Are you gonna go live? We should do an evolution as a fact live.
I will, once I get a little bit more time to myself, I plan on doing more lives, but I've been planning that for like a year now, so.
You just got to do it. You just got to do it, bro.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll see you later, Ravi. See you later, Cody.
All right, adios, guys. Appreciated the stream today. Had a couple decent calls. Appreciate y'all. I will see you guys on the next one. Bare minimum, we will be live on Friday. I might go live tomorrow as well, since I haven't been live the past 3 days. So I'll probably see you guys on Thursday as well. Tomorrow on the Discord, I'll let you guys know. So keep in the Discord.